One. What's up, everybody? Cinco here. Everything in the kitchen Cinco. Tonight I'm talking to Bryan Christopher Moss, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. But primarily we're going to be trying to pump up sales on his Kickstarter. So the link is in his bio. Please follow him. I'm going to invite him in right now, and we're going to start off.
Yo, yo,
Hey,
yo. What's
yo,
going on, fam?
how you doing, man? I always just right off the bat, just so we have it right away. I make you make the guests introduce themselves and talk about your work and where they can get it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So my name's Bryan Christopher Moss. I'm a full-time cartoonist. I'm also a painter. And then I'm also an educator. And we'll unpack a lot of that throughout the interview, I'm guessing.
Definitely.
I'm also I started what did I say? Like a group of people, a collective, started a collective, so that's cool. And here are my books: Eightfold Path, Outer Heaven, and there's also Desert Decay. So I'm published with Abrams, and I work for a few other companies, and then I self-publish. So thank you for having me, Ian.
Hell yeah, man. And one more thing to talk about before I flip around and we just talk and chill for a minute is the Kickstarter, man.
Yes, sir. So I'm really happy about the Kickstarter. I got it to my goal, but I'm definitely trying to push it as far as possible. And we've been having some complications, so we're here doing the damn thing now, though.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, this link is in your bio,
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm sure I'll be sharing it too. It's not hard to find it, but if you want to just straight up go Google Project Unicorn, Bryan Christopher
Is it? Yeah, you'll
Moss.
find it really. It's really easy to find
Yeah,
because it's my main campaign. So thank you.
and
And
we got, what do we got? We got some tiers. We got hold on a second. I was already scrolling through this. So yeah, we got like the high tier. This is I'll start at the bottom and go up. For 300, you can get an original piece of art. What else do we got
yes, sir.
here? A commission.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do we got here? Physical copy, Metropolis Files, plus original piece of art. So we got two categories where you can get a piece of art, and one you get, and also you get a commission.
Mm-hmm.
Are people allowed to like request a commission, or is it
Yeah, the commission's open for what you would like. So yeah, that's open.
nice?
And then the other one, the one above it, the 150, that's a page from the comic. So
That's
from the
awesome.
manga.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick. Yeah,
So I try to get in people's hands.
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thank.
And I didn't even look close. Did we move? You got three of those already. Nice. And one of these. Sweet,
Oh
man.
wow. I don't even look at it.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing it, Ian.
And then,
Because it psychs me out, you know.
yeah, man, I understand. It's good to chill. It's good to chill out. I
No,
don't know.
no, it's good. Yeah, it's good to see it. My wife Rachel manages it, so
Oh,
she was
nice.
like, "Oh, Bryan, you're doing really well." Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear when couples are doing power couple stuff,
Dude,
man. That's great.
totally.
Um,
Thank
so
you,
the
bro.
retail package, this is what's up, man. It's like I had a retail package on mine, but I came real late. Like I did it towards the end, and I only got it. I think I only had two stores pick me up. But this is
Mm.
what's up. It's always good to have a retail package.
Yeah, it was new for me too, man.
Yeah,
I'm learning. I'm definitely learning on the fly.
yeah. The next one now, I have like a list of shops to call. Most of them I know them. Some of them I don't. But yeah, man. Like Lee said, uh, there's a YouTube video that people can check out of yours where you interviewed Lee, owner
Yeah.
of what was it, Neighborhood Comics, and he
Mm-hmm.
explains like the best practices for
Oh my
approaching comic
gosh.
stores.
Yeah, totally. That was a.
Um,
I was really happy about that interview.
oh, that was awesome, man. Yeah, I bought a bunch of books from him that night. I couldn't help myself.
Dude, same man. I
It's
get
a healthy addiction, man. I have it under control. I
exactly.
swear.
Yeah.
Um, this is
That
I think this is the one I
one.
got. No, I got the one above this. But so this is the regular cover and a print. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Jeremy Heiler. Yep.
Oh, nice. Jeremy did this cover.
Yeah. It's brutal too. It's the third part of the story. So
Nice.
yeah, because this is currently the first part. So
This is the one I got.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the with Nick Clark's cover. So yeah, that one's gonna be fire because
I think
he just delivered
I
it.
maybe I don't remember which one, but we'll see. I'll find out. I'll check after this which one I got.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, man, I feel like I want everybody to get a physical copy on this one. I want to encourage everybody to get one of the physical copies, but you can always just get a digital for $5 or just donate what you want. Oh, this is what's up, man. I think this is what I got.
yeah, that's the winner one right there. That's the one where you get everything that's in the original like design. You know what I mean? So my book, Jeremy's, and then the variant cover because I kind of like to keep things really tight. You know, like in the sense of like the output of it because I get confused when there's a lot. So and it's hard for me to make decisions. So I try to make the packages really clean and simple for people.
Yeah, that's what's up. It gets overwhelming if there's too many options.
Yeah,
But at the
because
same
I
time,
have
you want to have variety and give people some options.
exactly,
But yeah, so
exactly.
please, everybody, back Bryan on this,
Um,
back Moss on this.
and
We can get that.
thank you so much, bro.
I hope somebody watching right now decides to jump in.
Yeah, it's
Let me
all
just.
good. The crazy part about it, it's like it showed so much. It made me so humble because I the reason it humbled me was because it got back in 5 days, and I was like, man, people really out there care, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was like the cool part, bro.
Well,
You know. So
especially
yeah.
for you, man,
Oh
because
man.
you mentioned briefly in your introduction that you started a collective, but we should just I like to just approach these videos like people, like strangers are watching, even though it's probably the
Oh
K
no,
fam is
totally.
probably watching.
Yep.
But
We're
yeah,
on the
it's
same
like,
page, bro.
yeah, I mean, like let's just talk about the K fam. Let's start off with that, man, because that's
Cool.
how I met you. That's
Yeah.
how,
Yeah.
that's not why we're talking, but
Yeah.
that's the
That's the
majority of the people that are probably watching right now, and
yeah, that's the
yeah,
origin story.
yeah, man.
So yeah, so everyone's friend Ed Piskor passed April 1st last year. And so people who had connections to the to the Kayfabe channel, stuff like that. And so I was on the channel a few times. A lot of people know me from the channel. And so with that happening, a lot of people were contacting me when Eddie passed. And so my Strange Things account, the one we're on now, it turned into the Eddie P memorial page. I was like, man, we gotta like put it into something, right? And so kind of as a joke, I just made and not like a haphazard joke, it had thought behind it, but I was like, let's call it, Kfam for family, because it was just something kind of organic, natural. And that was kind of like the light, you're in the middle of the woods, completely black, and you have a fire going. That's the fire, and it's attracting every beautiful moth in the world, including Ian and the rest of the K fam. So,
And
everyone just keeps coming to it.
I can see we definitely got K fam watching right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they follow us everywhere. I can't get rid of them for some reason.
And you do I mean, you're almost every night of the week, right? Is there like a night that's
Dude,
dedicated like that,
that's so funny.
or is it just kind of like
Yeah.
you'll take a day off when you feel like it, and you're basically going every night?
Yeah, so
And sometimes days and mornings.
yeah, so I try to take off Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
But as you know, Ian, I streamed Sunday and Monday. So it's like, because the way it works out is once you start building it out, a lot of people it accelerates really fast. And so people, they're like, oh hey, here's the time I have. And so I'll make time for it because it's like what I'm talking to him about, Danny last night about projects we're doing. Like that's fun and creative. So I don't mind hopping on for stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, like if someone's watching this and they don't know anything about it, I find it amazing because there'll be a night like, last night we were literally discussing a project that's going to be for a member who just passed away, and we're basically going to it's going to be a combination of biography about him and and also we're bringing his comic to life, right? So that was business last night almost.
Yeah,
And then, but then
exactly.
other nights, you'll just be flipping through comics. And I mean, before I jump away from Marco is the one who passed away. I felt like you
Hmm.
were conducting a service around it.
Dude,
Like straight.
man,
That's something you probably never thought you'd be doing, but
my
you're doing
gosh,
it.
tell me about it, man. Because I think we streamed that day, Ian, for like 5 or 6 hours. It was like a 3 hour, then a 2 hour. I
Yeah,
think it was like the following day, but it was still within like a 24-hour window.
yeah,
And I was, because if people don't know, Marco was a huge advocate for Eddie, for Jimmy, for Cartoon Kayfabe. Like, and so when he joined the Kayfam, which is just an Instagram page essentially, if anyone's confused on that, it's just an Instagram page and we have chats in it. And then we have a Discord now, stuff like that. But to the original point, Marco was one of our founding members. It's cool to call him that. And
nice.
he put in so much work. I think he did around 60 pages. And so, Ian, you bear witness to a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? You saw the production that he was cranking out. And so, when no one knew, and then he said, I'm going to the hospital. This was around the 24th of March. And then he passed away April 5th, I think it was. And I apologize if I don't remember the date. That was kind of wild. And so we were able to, everyone get together creatively, and we're going to pay tribute to him with what you were saying, Ian, with the making the comics and those things. So it's actually an honor to be in this position, even though it's hard. You know what I mean? Because I didn't sign
Yeah,
up for this. You know.
yeah. No, I think we're all like, it's a pretty conscientious, compassionate group, and I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone's well aware that you're putting in like a lot of personal time into everything, and like it's a super unique position that
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
can imagine yourself in it. Um, but yeah, you literally you're the founder, the leader, the father of the group. You stream nightly, sometimes twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you help organize projects, and yeah, you just put. I mean, you're putting a lot of yourself into this thing.
Thank you.
Rami's in the chat, and he was just like, basically, the Kfam has become a publishing house. Like that's
Yeah.
totally where it's at right now, which is awesome.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was the thing that I really enjoy the most about it is because I've been doing art. I started at about I knew I was going to be an artist by like 4 years old, and I know that sounds silly, but Ian, you understand it. Like you're
yeah.
born that way,
I was like
and
you.
yeah, it's like you don't have a choice, you know. And so not having a choice, it kind of sets you up for failure in like the modern, like the normal world, but what it allows you to do is have a very exciting life. So
Yeah,
it's like I kind of the way I experienced like the Eddie stuff and the Marco thing is still within the framework of like you're doing something creatively for people that you care about. So you're kind of really having a really successful career
yeah,
just by being able to help on such a high level because no one's operating at this level, you know?
yeah. It is a unique level, as you're calling it a level. It's like
Yeah.
it's 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 super indie, and it's super grassroots, as people would say. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. I still feel very new to it. I'm in what, 2 books now,
Yeah.
to be a third. But like, do you know off the top of your head how many books are out? You don't have to like
Yeah.
list them all, or you
No, you're
can
good. I
tell
think
us
it's
that.
around since I'll include people who have been publishing their own works too during KFAM
Yeah,
because by proxy, um each people help each other on their books, you know.
yeah,
So it's a lot bigger. So the initial published numbers I think were around 15 books. Um, that's me ballparking, but published within the entire community, it's probably around 35 this past year, maybe more,
nice.
maybe around up to 55. So it gets pretty hardcore because let's say, excuse me, let's say in that, let's say we have um, Bill putting out a book soon, and somebody might help him design it, or like Emilio's doing the Saturday morning AM.
Right.
So he's publishing over a few times. So that's where it gets kind of confusing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's anywhere from 30 to 50 books, man. Which is, I mean, that's a lot for an invisible company, you know.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so curious to see where it grows. There's talk about all kinds of things. I don't know what I should or shouldn't say.
Oh, you can speak freely.
You
It's
could,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think the most exciting thing for me is the talk of, everybody doing their own original IP or characters or stories or whatever under a Shonen Jump like umbrella.
Yeah.
Like, not that we're a corporation like Shonen Jump. I don't really know the full history of Shonen Jump. It's something I should definitely investigate and learn from. But
I get
that's
your
basically
point,
what we're
though.
talking about, which is
Yeah.
incredible. We pulled that
Yeah,
off.
because that concept, and so when I went over to Japan, I went a few times, and you see the system. It's very apparent the way the system works,
Yeah.
because it's visible. They're working together. So when they publish, they have cards they fill out. So you're getting direct feedback, because imagine, Ian, if you got feedback every week, you would be drawing like a maniacal freak, because you're just like,
Yeah.
finally, I'm getting like the information I need to get better, you know?
If I was Japanese and in Japan, I would draw myself to death. I would be at that point. Like, you're 42 now. You gotta take care of yourself a little bit more, son.
Right, you gotta slow down there. It's like, no, gotta get going. So what happens is that usually what happens is that the ideas trickle down from the top down. So
Yeah.
what I do is gather a lot of information, because there's so many people in the group, and I'm seeing all the data between the numbers and the ideas and the conversations, and then the talent. And then so I look for positioning and opportunity. So doing like a Shonen Jump, like you're talking about, style, that's because we have the foundation and the structure and the talent to do it. So it really can only happen with people like you, Ian, people in the chat, people who are active in the game,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we'll see if I'm ready for that. So when that happens, that's what I want it on. Actually, maybe I'm not ready for it. Maybe I need
No, bro, you're
to write a story.
Nah, dude, I'm putting all that energy where you draw on everything. You see, this dude Ian will draw on everything anywhere. It seems like he just draws all the time.
I
Dude,
want the pressure.
I
want the pressure of having to do it. I heard you say at one point, like, if you jump in, if you join it, you can't not be in it. You have to be in it for months. You're dedicating yourself, like, I don't know. You said, what is it, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. Like, whether we put it out monthly or every other month, whatever it is, you have to do it. Like, no, like, oh, I'm gonna do one and then I'm gonna be out. You're like,
it's like, no, you ain't gonna survive, buddy. You're gonna
that's what I want. That's what I need. I want and need in my life, man. I think I told you, like, I want to surround myself around people like you who are committed to a page a day or something regular, like panel or page a day.
Yeah.
And it would be even more amazing if we had this publishing. What did you call it? Unofficial company?
Yeah. It's like at this point we're an unofficial publisher, because the thing is, we're just operating as a publisher, but we're just doing all the work, So it's almost kind of like Wu-Tang or Parliament. I think of it like that, where you have everyone's independently talented and can have their own career. Like, Ian, you have a career. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here because you care. And so that's the difference, because I'm not really dealing with cancel culture anymore, because even the fact that we use that word as a term, it's the most appalling thing to be comfortable with. So I'm trying to, like, save culture. You know what I mean? I'm trying to save comic book community. I'm trying to save artists. So it's like, it's almost like it's a Wild West frontier of creatives, because we have people who have voices that haven't been heard. So it's like, well, I can platform those people because I'm not insecure, I'm comfortable with who I am and what I do, because most people want to be the person, they want to be the dude. And it's just like, everyone, there doesn't have to be the dude at all. Like, you have
dude energy. Like, you're mixing dudes here. Like, let's not take away from the Lebowski. You have Lebowski.
Yeah. I that is one of my favorites, man.
Which is like, it's like, it's not that he doesn't care, but he's chill. He's like chill to the max.
Yeah. That's
ego aside. Man. His ego's not in the game, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, man. It's completely that philosophy,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. As long as I've been tuning in, I even feel like probably will reflect deeper on it in the future. But I feel like I've seen you change just since I've been tuning in. It's just like you're put in this extraordinary position, and you're changing as a result of it. And
Yeah, it's making me
being
a better
conscious, like
person.
just the other night, I heard you correcting yourself and saying, "No, you know what? I was just wrong for saying that."
Yeah,
Like in this moment, you're like doing that, and like
yeah,
not many
yeah.
people do that. A lot of people just double down on their wrongness. It's
Oh
just like.
man,
Like
yeah, that's the way to
we need
fail,
to
man.
we need to teach people about all the things to teach people. I want to teach more people you can like admit you're wrong on the spot.
Yeah,
You don't need
it's
to
not
wait till
a
tomorrow.
big deal. And
Yeah, I
move
mean
on.
waiting until tomorrow makes it worse in your mind. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, because that's one of those things, Ian, where it's like, and by displaying that, it shows that it's an honest exchange, and then you can like show, because all you have to do is listen to the person and then listen to yourself, and when you listen to yourself and you catch those things, then it's kind of like you can see outside of yourself, which is healthy. Whereas most people, they internalize it because they can only see from their perspective. And I'm like, well, that's not always correct, you know? So you got to like, and plus I see now how hard it is to get something up and running.
yeah,
And so that's the most humbling, man, you know?
yeah, yeah. I don't. I never know where to take these
Oh,
conversations.
you're
And with
good,
you, it's
bro.
like we could just dedicate the whole night to just talking about the Kayfam, which is extraordinary.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
many
We can
ways.
talk about anything.
I brought out like I'm pretty sure I got all the books I own from Kayfam people. Although probably not. I probably have some in like a box in these boxes down here. But like, well, I want to focus on your work. I feel like you put so much
Dude, the
Kayfam.
K-Fam's my greatest
I
project
know
ever. So
we're gonna end up looking at it no matter what. But like,
I
I
don't
want
mean
to
that in a
first make
condescending
sure we
way
give you your
either.
time tonight, man.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah, no,
feel
I
like,
appreciate it. I know it's
but
hard to
I
like.
have like the stack of Kayfam books over here,
Yeah,
and
it's all good. Any way you direction you want to go, because it all folds into the whole thing. So
yeah,
it's like my career is part of the dialogue, as well as, because like the thing is like, they can go to bryanmossart.com and read all about me and about
yeah.
my Grammy nominations and stuff. Like, it's just like that stuff's yesterday. We're here now,
Oh,
man. So it's
wait, hold on
whatever.
a second. You're literally telling me this isn't the past. We don't need to talk about it. But I have heard you talk about the Grammy nomination, and honestly, I don't
Oh,
know about it. Do
okay.
you mind telling me about it? Because
Okay.
I don't.
so so I do artwork for people, for artists, for musicians. Like we all do.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I do artwork for Rema. He's
For
a
who?
Rema,
Rima.
Rema. He's an Afrobeat
Nice.
guy, and so I did his album cover, and it got nominated for a Grammy. I can show you the painting. It's right over here. And so he got nominated for a Grammy for it. And so when you get nominated for a Grammy, like that includes like producers, art directors, everyone
Nice.
who worked on the album. So
The
you
team takes
know,
Grammy.
yeah, he did not get the Grammy, which is fine. But just the idea of like having that experience is cool. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
So
man.
like
Oh,
I do.
that's what that is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your
Mm-hmm.
profile picture, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So this is a oil painting,
Sick, man.
and so I have a whole career in painting. So
Yeah.
so I do a lot of
Nice,
of
man.
that stuff. So that's kind of like what I do. So currently I'm working on a book cover, and it's going to be a painting of a haunted house, and like the book probably will take off and it will be popular, and then no one will know who I am still.
You never know, man. You really never
Yeah,
know.
well, I actually prefer it that way, man. I like that people don't know, because you can just go about your day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not really.
I'm with you 100% on that. Like
Yeah, I like to be low key.
I want to get known in the comic world so I can sell my comic and make a living.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I want to remain like not anonymous. It's like I like going out, to shows and I know a bunch of people and people know me, but I don't want to be recognized by strangers on a train. That's a nightmare. You can't take a train anymore, man.
Right. Yeah,
And then I got to be Ubering
messes up your whole flow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it's not talked about that much, but I feel like there's a lot of like pseudo celebrities or like celebrities who didn't make money And
Oh
but
yeah,
they
oh
got it,
yeah.
but
Well, that's
they
the
have to
game.
lift an Uber
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's the game, man. Because the thing about that, Ian, is that with because being on the other side, and what I mean by that is like, and you understand this concept, Ian. It's like when you're working with like professionals where you can't talk about like whatever, like what you're doing. It's kind of like you are exposed to that world, and then you see that most of those people are hustling just like I am with the Kayfam. You know what I mean? It's no different. It's just that they've been running their campaign longer. So, but it's still, so let's say we scale it to like where we're distributing and selling thousands of comics a month. That just means that that's just more like interface and more stuff we have to design. You know what I mean? We have to make the infrastructure even bigger. That's a lot of work. That costs a lot of money. So you're still dealing with the same problem on a small level or a big level. It's still, you're always looking for the money as an artist, you know?
yeah, yeah, it doesn't stop. Problems don't go away when you just become
Yeah, not at
famous.
all.
Fame just literally brings a whole
It
new
gets in the
level.
way.
Yeah, it gets in the way, man. I think it's like a change that you might not want. I just want to. I try to stay present in the conversation, but this is worth reading. You see in this comment right here, Wesley Griffiths was writing. Scioli has a theory that Tezuka wore the beret so he could take it off and not be recognized when he wanted.
Okay, yeah.
That was his like Clark
Yeah,
Kent gas glasses. It's
yeah,
like,
no, it's all
you
good.
don't recognize me now, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, there is merit to that because if Tezuka took off his hat, his beret, and glasses, you would not recognize that guy at all.
yeah,
You know, just think about if he took off the two joint. You know what I mean?
right.
And then so I actually think there is a lot of validity to that because that guy was so obsessed with working. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen the Tezuka documentary that's in his art book?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so. Probably
Let
not.
me see if I have it around here. So what it is,
Did
it's
you
a
already flip through that on the channel?
I if I did, it was a long time ago. So it's a red book, Ian, and it's Tezuka's biography. And in the back, there's a DVD. This was the DVD era, and on this DVD, you can watch it on YouTube. It's like a day in the life of Tezuka.
I'll watch it. I definitely don't have
Yeah.
that. I would know if I book with the DVD in the back.
Bro, this is like the late 80s. This dude is doing calisthenics and he's doing a handstand on his head on a wall so his blood can circulate so he could draw more pages.
Oh hell yeah. That's right.
Yeah, bro's in a taxi going to an opening drawing comics. Like the dude didn't stop, man.
Yeah.
So I could totally see him doing that. Like, oh, now I can't be seen in public. Now I can draw. Yeah. So totally buy that.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for dropping that knowledge, Wesley.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you know Wesley Griffith? He's got a
no,
he's got a
I don't.
I try to shout people out.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah,
he's he's got a bunch of different titles, but the Jump is like the one he's working on right now. I could have just bought all of them when I was up at
okay, yeah. Like that dude's influenced by Pravda. Yeah, by Guy Pielart. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, that.
And it's really dope. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I need those books, man. Yeah, hit me up, bro. Let me get those books. I'll buy them. But yeah, it's like he's drawn on like this, Ian.
Yeah. Show the reference or show the influence.
Yeah.
Wesley, you're still there. Confirm or deny.
Yeah, he has to. I mean,
I think he hopped out. Oh no, he's there. He's still here.
Yeah. So this is Guy Pielart.
Oh yeah. I know that.
Yeah, let's say you know the work.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
But yeah, so that dude Wesley is sick as fuck, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
Guy Pilart's my guy. You know, he did the Diamond Dogs album cover of David Bowie.
Yeah.
So.
No, I remember seeing a lot of people post about that book. I don't know when it was, whatever. I guess when it came out or something.
Yeah, because they re-released it a few years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that dude, Wesley, you're dope as fuck, bro, man. Shouts out to you, man. That shit's
yeah, he's another one of those people. You know, there's like a few people who are really just cranking. They're putting out issues regularly, you know, and like that's what's up, man.
I think what people are learning is that you have to really put into the community. You got to put in work. Comics is something that isn't given to you. It never will be.
Yeah.
That's why people fall off. That's why
Yeah.
I don't ever run it. I don't run the campaign 24/7, 365. You know, it's like, nah, this book, we're doing this book. Year off. Like, you got to really pace it. Or I'll do like 6 books in a row, you know, or a graphic novel. Then you take some time off. Like, you can't speed run comics, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went down that little tangent real quick.
What'd you say?
I went down that little tangent real quick, and I was like, yo, it's true though, you know?
I don't think so. I think it's right on track, man. I think the more tangents the better. I feel like they're all related to what we're talking about. So
yeah, for sure, bro. Totally.
I got my dog up in my face. She's particularly like needy right now.
Yeah, man. You're warm and cozy.
Sometimes she just falls asleep, but for whatever reason, she's pumped right now.
Oh man, yeah, she's hyped because of the interview, man. She's got the Ian energy.
I want to keep. I like FaceTiming, but I'm gonna flip it around
just
so we make sure we get some like time on the book, because I'll flip it around and we can talk again later.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
like, you know, FaceTime, I should say, again later.
Yeah.
Here's Luna. See, she's right up in there. Come on, baby girl.
I see why your drawings look the way they do now, Ian, because from that perspective, it looked just like a distorted blob of eyeballs and spots with a green thing flying.
Dude, I got a portrait I did of myself where me and her are fused together.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That's
not beautiful. Too disturbing. It's just kind of, it's actually cute.
Oh, man, no, that's beautiful, man.
It could be disturbing, but it's not. Which one do you want to go through?
All right, let's start with Outer Heaven, man. That's going to be the one on the left, man.
Yeah, that's more this is totally you, right? Like,
yeah, this is all me, man.
This is Moss's.
Yeah, this is, and so I can like walk you through it, or you can ask me questions, whatever you prefer.
Both.
All right, so let's do it. So, this cover is a no design cover, so it's a concept of where you completely throw design out the window and you just use and kind of like wing it. I did this in order to disrupt what people traditionally think what a comic book cover should look like. So there's a lot of design intention behind this, even though I try to do an undesigned design. And so you're getting kind of like the whole concept of the book there. So that's a quote from one of my students. She says, Bryan looks like he's reached max comfort in that Captain Crunch outfit, because I have this hoodie when I teach kids online, and it's a Captain Crunch hoodie because it's silly. And
I didn't realize you teach online.
Yeah, I do both.
Are you talking? Oh, you teach in person and online. Okay.
No, I do both. Yeah, I do both. And then first appearance of Broken Nose Betty. That's a character.
Yeah.
I had this friend who is super addicted to putting stuff up her nose, and so she had to get a nose job, and she was still doing that stuff. Why with a nose job?
Damn.
And I said, well, you're about to be a character. So Broken Nose Betty is a person I know. You know, she's cool. I don't talk to her. I hope she's doing well. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
But I'm not riffing. What I'm saying is, like, it was what I do. A lot of the characters and the concepts I come up with are based upon real life, even though they're really extremely not real life. You know, we'll go through it and show you. So this kind of set the formula. So on, like,
I love it, man.
Thank you, bro. It's kind of weird, right? And like, it's not traditional at all.
Yeah, I mean, you did me the honor of flipping through my book Erotica, and like, I didn't even tap into where I want to take that. And I feel like this is in that realm where you're just like layering photos, like this is, you know,
that's from Instagram.
Yeah, and taping on with that. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Ultimately, I feel like this is design, but I like the concept of, like, you don't approach it from a design standpoint.
No.
You're like throwing shit at the cover, essentially.
Yeah, you're trying to disrupt it. That's the whole goal, is to disrupt it.
Yeah.
And so it takes the concept of a comic and compartmentalizes some of it, and I'll break it all down for you.
Yeah.
So that
should we go do a look this real quick?
We can do that. Yeah, totally. So when you see the back, it's kind of the inversion of the front. So I strip everything down, and once again, it's on the fly. You just put it down, and you go. And the reason why you do a no design is because it's a shortcut in order to publish your book. I did this whole book in a week, so I'm going to explain how I did this entire book in a week. And I think I've sold around 1,500 copies of this book so far.
Wow, man, nice.
Yeah, it's a $20 book, so you know. So what this kind of established my format, which is having this is my wife Rachel now, but she wasn't my wife at the time.
Oh,
Write an intro. So I always will hire someone to write an essay because I take them on the ride with the book. And so Rachel's essay is what I was doing at the time. So it's kind of funny, you know.
nice.
So you get a lot of so everything has a point to it. And so
You
and as
mentioned on your show, Brendan Graham is one of the few pros who are welcome on the Kayfam channel.
yes,
And
right.
I don't know if you checked out Life on Mars. It's like his autobio comic that just came out. And
Oh,
he's
I
got
didn't know that.
his partner, Cupcakes and Coffins, Casey Jones. She wrote the intro on that too.
Oh,
I like
really?
the
That's
again, like
adorable.
when there's like a power couple and they're working together on multiple levels. It's the most beautiful thing, man.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, and you be seeing Rachel. She got her design game up. She's over here with YouTube channels and shit.
Nice.
Yeah. So the story starts out in that's an alien on the right, and we're on a probing table. So we're abducted, but I don't
Nice.
explain that at all. And you'll see that the monsters, that the alien, their lips are peeled back. That's and it's okay. You don't have to respond to much of this, but that is actually like a representation of like my critiques on vaudeville. So it's like the it's a critique on the blackface trope.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
And
blackface.
yeah, and
Instead
so
of
I peeled
the
off
big
the
lips,
lips,
you're doing the lips are
gums.
gone and ripped off.
Yep. You got it. So it's almost as if it's not like a critique, like a heavy critique. It's an aesthetic critique. And I'm
Yeah.
taking the traditions of America and mythologies of America and putting it into a comic. So that's what that is, like the mythology of abduction by an alien, you know, like that's
Yeah.
a lot, that's a heavy American lore, you know. And so same way with the vaudeville era of America, people try to hide it, I kind of expose it. So I use it as a thing. So that's the first page.
And you do something cool with these pages right off the bat, right in the beginning.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
It's basically animation, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got it. So I'm
You're doing
introducing
like
the
the
concept
tweens.
of animation,
Yeah.
and you can see that we're getting probed, or you know, whatever that would be. Now you can see the hand turns black, and that's the black face like exposure of the trope. You know, that's it's in your face. You know what I mean? Literally. So I kind of like put that front and center, and then you could turn the page and you won't be able to see it, but I'll show it. I'll point this out to you guys. Oh, actually, on a different version, I have the crunch kind of hidden, but it's right there. So it's eating our face, you know. So you
Yeah.
can see the blood splatter on the alien.
Yeah, it's awesome. You did a little animation in your comic. I like that. I like I don't know. There's just so much to have fun with when you're making comics. You know,
Yeah, man. You should
You
never have
can
to
do
make them
so many
boring.
things.
Now,
Yeah, exactly.
so this stuff, Ian. So this is kind of just me capturing documentation of like Midwest, because I don't really, a lot of people like Ian, they're cooling it to be in New York, but I gotta give the Midwest some shine, man. You know, we got Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm trying to be like put some shine on the Midwest, like, you know, you could pet some goats here, you know, shit like that. So what I'm explaining here, Ian, in these kind of pictures, that's actually Rachel as a baby. And so what I'm introducing is the concept that there's tulpas, um, aliens, and like shadow figures present in the real world, but we can't see them. So that's the concept.
So the cartoons are the shadow figures, essentially.
Yeah, those are the demons, but it's not like they're playful. You know what I mean? It's like gremlins, all right?
Dude, one of my favorite aesthetics, whether it's Jamie Hewlett or Roger Rabbit or you name it, is mixing photos and cartoons, man. Like straight up photo.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks incredible, man.
Yeah. So here you get some of the macabre. So it's like daytime, but it's violence. And the reason for that is like in the Midwest, Ian, I don't know how much time you spent here in the Midwest, but
I've been
like
I've
you
been through Ohio. I've been to St. Louis. I've done a couple
okay,
road trips.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
So you'll see like dead animals everywhere.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's normal. But that should not be normal. Like I'll drive down the road and there might be blood spilled for half a
You're talking
mile
about
because
roadkill.
yeah, roadkill, yeah, exactly. And so that's like a heavy violent like you're going to go get groceries, right? So I introduced the concept of violence during the daytime because of driving, out in when you're in the Midwest there's a lot of driving going on.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the ideas behind that. And this all these pages are all those concepts, so you can kind of just show them off again, and
Yeah. It's
I'll
awesome.
point out. Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that one great?
You can help me pace. This is intense, man.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
It scared me. I was like kind of concerned about publishing it, honestly, because I was like, man, they're gonna think I'm some sort of like devil worshiper or something.
No joke. People interpret all kinds of things when they
Yeah,
look at our art.
man.
This was one of my favorite panels. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Maybe it's like the
yeah.
green light in the
Isn't that
photograph.
beautiful?
Yeah.
So what I was doing, so the technique I was using with this, everyone, is that I avoid copyrights by taking the film and screen capping the film that I'm trying to pull from. And so, or I'll use like propaganda film, or I'll use things that were like used for countries or um, countries. Yeah, that one's a really good one too.
Yeah.
And so I use like countries will do films to introduce you to their city. So you could type in like 1970s video of about Columbus, Ohio, and there will be a public service video where it's like, "Welcome to Columbus, Ohio," where we're known for this and that, all that kind of stuff. I just take screen caps of it and use it. So that first one up there with the code with the time code, this comes from a Japanese 1955, I think, or 60s um, video about Japan and its economy.
Nice.
Yeah, same thing here. Japanese. This is about the Japanese economy, and so this is before I went to Japan. And so I felt that this was kind of like the manifestation of me trying to get to Japan. And then that's when Ian, I kind of took it back to this like fucking like um Arthur Miller Crucible kind of era, because it's just like the scowling of the Karens in the back, the former the pilgrim Karens, A lot of people
they don't look that scary. I feel like my dad tells me about these nuns who like terrorized him when he was growing up.
Oh man.
And like at least they're kind of smiling back there.
Yeah.
Smiling Karens.
And so this is Ian, honestly, this is the first time I ever did a breakdown to this. So I'm actually kind of like shocked I'm giving this much detail, man.
You're
but
is it okay?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, no, I usually just try to leave it up to people. So I never mind doing a commentary. So this one right here is actually Aaliyah. You know the singer Aaliyah. R.I.P. This was her first time on Star Search, and I remember this memory as a kid.
Wow.
And so I kind of gave it like a John Kay kind of feel to it, but with the alien is kind of trying to morph into a human, so it's a big tumor, but it's trying to behave like a human, so it's like excited. So this is me just bending everything in my mind into one.
Damn, man. Yeah, that you gotta.
But
you got a sneaky expression on his face.
I try to explain to people, Ian, that that my comics don't make sense, but there's a lot to it. They do make sense, but you really have to really invest visually. You have to be visually literate, This was I left this one at the end. And so this is my whole world building section. So when you're abducted by that alien and he bites your face, you go into this world. And so you are able to see tulpas and demons in the real world. So what I'm doing is documenting the life of demons around the world or of aliens around the world. And that's the first part. But all of this is just world building for Broken Nose Betty. So Broken Nose Betty is the comic. In the comic, you can see the backgrounds I kind of just like throw away because I put all my world building up front. So I did an asymmetrical narrative. That's why I call it.
Nice, man.
And so I use things like Bart Simpson because he's an adult here.
It's a fun way to start off too. You're probably wondering how we got here.
Yeah. I use the cliche. I use the trope.
Yeah.
And so this comic goes through this idea of Broken Nose Betty. She's a mercenary, but she does non-violent kills. So this is her introduction. So it's kind of like a cliche or a gimmick or a trope that I've been developing. And so this whole book, like I said, was done in a week. And I can talk about this process. So what this process is, Ian, is I draw everything with a pencil, and then I scan it and I put it into Procreate, and then I do a double line to make it darker. You could obviously just, bump up the blackness on the line.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to double it is because I wanted to put like a softer Gaussian blur on it to give it kind of like a cartoon kind of effect.
Yeah.
And so
it gives it an effect. It's more of an effect and less of just you're making a higher contrast or whatever.
Yeah. And that kind of gave it a glassy feel to it. And so by doing this, it takes it out of, it gives you 3 different narratives, but it's all one. This is where, money shamer. Right there. She doesn't have like a cell phone or a smartphone. And so like they're making fun of her. And so a lot of this energy is going to be like your Jim Mahfood kind of storytelling, nonsensical, fun. Like,
yeah, you're talking about the process, but it's witty as fuck too, man.
Oh, thank you.
It's like a lot baked in here.
Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, I just made it up as I went along.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna do. All this shit was made up, man.
Nice, man.
But when you make it up and you put it together, Ian, that's when the magic happens, So I was able to connect these alien stories, and then, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's something I feel like maybe I need to do just to get the cobwebs out of my head.
Dude, I really felt that your book actually did it. Your Neon Spring issue 0. I promise, bro. When I looked at that and read it, I was like, man, I wish I could draw cool panels like Ian, because you just have the greatest moments in your book, bro. Your build-up is perfect. Man.
That shit's heavily crafted and took me forever. I feel like
it feels off.
I need to get moving.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Beautiful. I feel like there's times where like you can tell. I don't know if it's like you're drawing multiple lines, but you said you doubled up the lines, and I don't know if I'm seeing it right now, but you can kind of tell. It almost feels like raised off the page.
Yep, and that's the goal, is to give it that glassy feel. And so it was really cool to get this, to make it like so experimental and make it successful. Because when you make something, Ian, that is like, that's bigger than the idea, then the value of it is immeasurable. So like, that's a small book, but I charged $20 for it, and people would love it. They want another one. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can charge people a $20 price tag. I try to discount as much as possible, but the regular price, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
but it's all good. So powerful storytelling actually works, man.
So the slugs wanted. So Bart Simpson is a slug in disguise. And,
yeah.
And the slugs want to kill her, or King Slug wants to take out Broken Nose Betty.
Yeah,
but he's sending Bart out to go get her, and he's sending another slug. Or not? No, this is King Slug.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's looking.
Yeah.
That's her hand. Okay.
Yep, I got it. You got it. This story is so stupid. So what happens is that
the simp slug.
Yeah,
of all the simp slug text,
dude. Slug.
This hits on so many funny levels, man.
And it's because, so what he was trying to do is that he was creeping on Broken Nose Betty, so she doxed his ass, and so they're gonna kill him because he's a bitch, because he didn't do the mission. He got soft.
The lesson here is don't be simping in anyone's DMs, man. No simping allowed.
Yeah, so here he's
This
like, "Oh,
adult Bart is
you
fucking
like
also just like
that Bart?
it,
He's so
it's its
sleazy,
own
isn't he?"
crazy thing. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people do Simpsons takes on the Simpsons, but I haven't seen a Bart look like this, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I try to keep it kind of just fresh. You know what I mean? Like keep it loose, keep it funky. A
Yeah.
lot of people they're too cerebral. They're too smart about the art. You know, it's
Mhm.
like you got to have fun with it, man.
Hell yeah.
But people would kind of if they didn't understand or know me, Ian, it would be kind of obtuse. This book would come across as kind of weird. They'd probably be confused. But I think I can win people over when they read it. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
Because it's just
I mean,
so
I was
goofy.
I didn't know what I was looking at up here when I read it. You know? I loved it. I was like, this is incredible. Like this aesthetic is wild and awesome.
Yeah,
But
thank you,
I
man.
feel lucky that I got that explanation, and now I know that it is directly related to it, and that's cool,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, bro. So then the story it pretty much finishes up. If you want to jump to where the part where it starts turning orange, which is I think is the next
Sure, it's
segment.
happening right now.
Yeah, this
Before I turn,
is about to
yeah,
happen.
that's sick, man.
Oh,
You can
thank
really
you.
see that raise the double line, or are you just actually putting a drop shadow at this point?
No, that was raised, and then I may have contoured it a little bit, but I may
Yeah.
have bumped it up and edited it, but it's there, you know, because that's a scan.
Yeah, your art
So
is real spontaneous, man. We watch you
thank
do
you.
it on the lives. We watch you talk about, or we listen to you talk about it, and it's apparent when you look at it. You're not
Yeah, I don't ever
overworking
think it.
or fussing. You're like an artist who's able to put it down like straight out of your head.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I was kind of delusional because I thought all artists did that because you know I don't have the lifestyle of I guess we would have similar lifestyles, Ian. Like we're not really shut-ins. I always see you out and doing stuff a lot. And so I was a heavy social butterfly. So
Yeah,
my art had to be operating in a real time.
yeah.
And that's what all this is. This is just real time comic making, you know. And I'm honored that I can do this because most people they can't do it on this level. But I'm trying to I am slowing down because with Project Unicorn, I'm slowing down with that to make it more methodical, you know. But that's just the tone of the book. So here,
Every book
when
is
we
different, right? Right? Like
yeah,
you like
exactly.
that.
Thank you.
This book was about this approach was a big part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like everybody does. Some artists more than others, but everybody kind of has to approach each book differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so with this one, where it's orange, Ian, is because I had my guarantee that I was going to do it in a week. And so this was my last day. So I made everything orange. So
That's
I could
wild.
finish
So you
it.
cranked out all the last pages on the last day. What do you
No,
got?
the
One,
pages were
two,
done. It was the
three,
coloring.
four, five,
All of that. All
six,
that was colored
seven,
in one afternoon. Yep.
seven. All right. Nice, man.
Yeah.
I mean, also, but you know what? People will look at this and they'll be like, "This was a really smart design
Yeah.
choice. This was a smart, like the emotion, the color tells the
Mm-hmm.
story. You know, people justify it that way. You don't even have to explain,
Right.
man. But you're also
Yeah.
doing something cool. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing color
Dude,
holds on the lines?
I don't even know how I got that on there. Because you know
But
how
you know what
some
I'm
things kind of like
talking about, right?
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know if it's a color hold or if it's a effect like
Yeah.
a dodge, a color dodge,
Right.
maybe.
Right.
It's one or the other. But
Well,
it
it's
did
cool, man.
create that crazy stridulation, you know, like it's beautiful, you know.
It is beautiful, man.
And so with this section, this is where the hook is. So that's me. I drew myself in there. I'm hanging out
This
with
is you?
Betty. Yep.
Nice.
So then what happens is that Betty, the king slug or whatever his name is, that other slug comes in and he's going to kill her or, you know, do whatever. And then they have a margarita contest and she puts salt on his and, you know,
Accidentally
salt.
kills slug with the
Yeah.
salt.
So he killed himself. So she got a pacifist kill again. So she made like a lot of money. So that's kind of the hook, you know. But it's fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brilliant, man. Wait, I forget. She does it knowingly, or she She doesn't
No,
even
she
realize.
knows. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
set
knows,
him up.
and he's just not paying attention. He's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I'll take
she's good at seducing men, so
it."
including slugs, obviously. And I thought the slug thing was just fun, you know, because like Sam Keith
Yeah,
drew slugs, so I kind of like let me continue the slug legacy, you know.
Slug legacy, man. This image is awesome.
Yeah, that's the most glassy out of all the images. I love the glassy look of that. That's great in print too, isn't it, Ian?
Oh hell yeah, man! This is like I wish I again like I always regret not buying more from artists when I'm on the spot. I wish I just got everything you had.
Oh,
But
dude,
this
it's
is
all good,
the
bro.
one. I looked through all your stuff and I was like, this is the one I want, man.
Yeah. No,
Right.
thank you, bro, man.
And when you say glassy, you mean because it's like it's raised up? It's like on a piece of glass.
Yeah, because it has that raised look, and then you get that white color hold. You know, that white. You get the white transparency. Yep, and then you get the white on top. Yep.
Right.
So it's all of those elements, Ian, that
Nice.
make that. Mm-hmm.
You're getting love down in the comments, man.
Oh, really? Oh, man, thank you, guys. Man, when I'm doing interviews, I don't look at the comments because I try to focus on the conversation because I have ADHD,
me too, man.
Yeah,
me too. I look down every now and then because
yeah.
You
so thank you, guys, man. Appreciate the love, man. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Skullhead says, "Love the style, man. Looks fire." Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. Just let me know, man. I can hook everybody up. Yeah, so then here we go. Check it out. Another 10K for another pacifist kill. Good night, boys.
Yeah, she's sassy as fuck. Man.
Yeah. She's cool as shit, man. So like, there's fan art out there of Broken Nose Betty. Shout out to Broken Nose Betty.
So she's based on a friend, but also like, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a little bit of you talking there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah. So like, I grew up with isn't that crazy?
Yeah, man. That's creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's the kind of horror I'm into, where it's just like the idea of someone like watching you, right? Or it's the idea of this paranormal paranoia. That's what I think I want to call it. Paranormal paranoia.
Where they go hand in hand.
What's that?
Paranoia and the paranormal go hand in hand, man.
Exactly, man. Because the environment I grew up in, Ian, I was never scared of the people there, because that's why it's always confusing me when people are scared of like poor people. I grew up poor as fuck, and so I had the funnest time. But so it was confusing that people saw like me and my friends and stuff as like criminals or like horrible people, because we're poor. And so I always was like, I always felt that I was like more of a ghost kind of scaring people, opposed to like my physical presence, because I'm really tall. But for me, I was never scared of like people or cops or none of that. Like, I mean, I'm aware, but I'm not gonna live in fear. And for me, I always was scared of like paranormal things. I was like, man, because I have an imagination,
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, because like in the 90s movies like Fire in the Sky, or that
scared the shit out of me.
Dude, you remember?
I'm obsessed with aliens like most people. Maybe not most people, but probably you and the fam.
Yeah, a few others.
And like, yeah, that one especially was in the head, man.
Dude,
that was like up at night.
I mean, just the thought
that like you're gonna be abducted from the safest place on earth, which is your bed.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
that's terrible.
Your most vulnerable moment.
Yeah, you're not safe anywhere at that point.
Yeah. So what? And then there's another movie. If you've seen that movie, Powder, do you remember that movie?
Powder with he has like superpowers, right?
He's like a fucking pale ass dude with superpowers.
He's like albino.
Yeah.
He like explodes.
Yeah.
He explodes at the end. Or something.
Yeah, you know that movie, bro.
So, yeah, that movie sent chills down my spine at the end.
Saying shit like that.
An electrical bolt out of him.
Yeah, he fucking brought a deer to life by electrocuting and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I barely remember that one. That one, I guess, was creepy, but it wasn't a straight up horror film. It wasn't like.
But that's my point, Ian. But that's my point, is that like these movies that were in our peripheral that were like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. Like, that's not really cool, Another one of those would be there's a movie, it's a black and white movie from I think like the 50s or 60s called The Bad Seed. It's about this little girl and she fucking tortures her family,
Oh God, I don't think I saw that one.
And then
That's
at the end, she's like on a dock and it's like raining, and then she gets electrocuted and disappears, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So
damn,
it's like,
man.
so I kind of like movies that
Did
you
you
like wake
say
up.
the 1956 film?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's that. Yeah, it's like from '56 or maybe like early '60s, maybe.
And then it looks
So
like
it's
there's a remake with Rob Lowe.
oh really? I bet it's
I think.
horrible. We should watch it one day. It's gonna be beautifully bad because that movie's brilliant. But these are the kind of things I would like wake up to in the middle of the night, and it would be like on TV, or I would see like another good example of this was a TV show, and it was about these gangsters, and I can't remember the name of it, but someone will know in the chat. But my point is, Ian, is that it's just like these kind of weird shadow kind of ideas. And what happened, where all that stems from, is actually from my childhood. Growing up in that environment, it was rough, and it caused me to have like psychotic, like I would have sleep paralysis.
Mm.
So, and there would be like figures,
The figure.
shadow figures, yeah. But that's like a lot to do with your childhood. You know what I mean? Like,
I had that happen to me one time only, but I have friends who it happens to them
and
regularly.
it's horrifying, right, Ian, when it happens
Oh,
to you.
it's yeah, you can. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine being like strapped down with the most massive nightmare, having the ability to do anything to you. You know, it's like,
yeah,
and they don't do anything; they just stand there. You know, you're like, I can't live in this space, and so that's kind of like peak horror for me.
yeah.
It's like never going to be monsters, Jason, Freddy. It's the subconscious always, man, because that's the thing you can't. If you can't control your mind, that's the most scariest thing. And so I try to like document that as much as possible in the safest way.
Nice.
Now,
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, man. Yeah, we said if you're not safe in your most vulnerable place, which is bed, then you're
yeah,
not safe
man.
anywhere. But the truth is if you're not safe in your head, then you're really not safe
Right.
anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, man. And we're doing some breakthroughs right now,
hell
bro.
yeah,
For real.
man. That's what's beautiful about art, man. It could be as dumb as you want it to be, or it could be as smart as you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, it's
Totally.
metaphysical, or it's
Yeah,
just a joke. You
yeah,
know, it's
exactly.
kind of like,
And you
yeah.
can take it all those directions. It's like you can make fun of it, you can have fun with it, you could riff, you could take it serious. Like,
I love that
you know.
I love that you go to all the places,
Yeah,
man. You don't take yourself too
man.
seriously, as they say, but
Yeah,
when you need to
man.
be serious, you
Yeah.
get serious.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can have my own views and my own thoughts, but it's a shared experience. I want to give them enough. It's a buffet, man. I want to give them enough to eat.
Dude, I think Emilio said that powder was an alien. I don't remember that at all, but
Oh,
powder
wow.
himself
I didn't
was an
realize
alien.
that. That makes sense.
I was obsessed with that movie. I can't believe I don't remember it at all. That's crazy,
But
man.
that's how those kind of ideas work. That's what I'm saying, Ian. It's a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some film people don't really study the filmmakers who are like subconscious, where you barely see the film, but it made a big impact, but you can't remember the name. It's like a fever dream. That's a brilliant film, but no
Yeah.
one looks at film that way. They look at film as like fucking boring ass 2001 Space Odyssey for the 100th time. Like, and I love Space Odyssey, but what I'm saying is
Yeah,
like
I know what you're
we
saying.
OD'd on it, man. There's enough information on it. Let's
Right.
make up something new.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man.
So that's April.
I might do a 2001 breakdown someday, but not until I've done 1,000
Right.
of these, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love what we're doing, bringing attention to things that we've never seen before, man. It's
Thank
like,
you. Yeah.
so this book
So
was written by two other people,
yeah.
right?
So that's Eightfold Path, and that's written by Stephen Barnes and Dr. Charles Johnson. They're both extremely prestigious writers. Stephen Barnes just wrote a Qui-Gon Jinn, or what's that? What is his? Is that what's the black dude's name? The Samuel L. Jackson character in Star Wars. What's his name?
Oh, Mace
Windu. Thank you. So he just wrote a Mace Windu book. So like he's put in work, and then Dr. Charles Johnson,
Nice.
he wrote the book called The Middle Passage that you all had to read in elementary school if you grew up in the 80s or the 90s. So
I did not read it. I grew up in the 80s, 90s, but
Um,
I didn't read that one.
man, you had that
I missed out.
that private school education maybe.
No, I didn't. I was public.
Were
I
you
just
public?
well, wait,
Oh
what's it
yeah,
called?
dude.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
it's public
Let me make sure.
school. Oh, it's called. Let me look it up to make sure I get it right. You're probably
I'm gonna write that shit down, man.
okay. Yeah, I think it's called the Middle Passage. I think it's called, and it's a children's book. If you type in his name, so
Yeah, I could actually look it up myself, right?
yeah, yeah.
Unless you want to shout him out, since he's your collaborator. Let's shout him
Yeah,
out
yeah. So
on
we
the
can take
live.
the time for this
Yeah, hell yeah.
book.
While you're looking, I'll just compliment you on this cover. I actually hadn't taken the book cover, the jacket off.
You want to know something funny?
This is awesome.
So,
and this is great.
Okay, so yeah, so it's called The Middle Passage by Charles Johnson. It won winner of the National Book Award of 1990. So he won the National Book Award. So it doesn't get better than that.
Nice.
So yeah. So that cover, so Ian, like, yeah, man, I haven't told anybody any of this shit, dude. So that's the actual cover right there. The dust cover was the one they wanted. They didn't care what I put on the book.
They wanted this?
So, yeah, they wanted that. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just tell people to take that cover off. The real cover is the one that's printed on the book. I do like the cover, though. The cover's great. But
it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't not like this, but I think this is incredible, man. If this I'd be way more inclined to buy this book if I didn't know you and I was just in a store, if this was like that, man.
Yeah, because
this is eye-grabbing. This is super great. Like you said, the other book is, what do you call it? Non-design, anti-design, or no design? Exactly. But this is like design and like great.
Yeah, this is all me.
Cartooning.
So that they let me do whatever I want with the entire book except for the cover. They had me I drew it and it's my idea, but the dust cover is what they decided on. And I was like, well, that's not going to be the cover. Let me draw the real cover underneath that. So yeah, thank you for recognizing that, because the book, one of the only reviews that, and I post it sometimes, the girl's like, she's like, the cover, I didn't like this book because the cover art looked awesome, but the inside art wasn't that good. And I was like, well, it's misleading.
Wait, what? She was saying that this looked awesome and she didn't like the inside?
She didn't like the inside because it didn't look like the cover. And I was like, well, it's misleading. It's a cover.
That is a real thing that we all do have to be aware of, like a cover misleading.
Yeah, and that's
but it's weird because like Preacher's one of the best comics of all time. You got Glenn Fabry doing painted covers and like,
oh man, they're never going to bring that back.
Like,
they're never.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like a great example of like the cover being misleading, but nobody's crying about that, you know.
So this book, Ian. So that inside the black and white right there, that's like a sigil I designed, like a hyper sigil. So if you can you hold the middle of the book together? I want to see if the design carries through on the back.
What do you mean?
I'll grab all the pages in the middle.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so you can see it's still there. Yeah, so it's consistent. Yeah, so it's designed to look like equally as cool as both ways. You know what I mean? Like full or half. Yeah,
it's awesome. Thank you. I mean, we came into the problem with the Hellboy book because we wanted to keep the price down, where we had to get rid of the, what do you call it, end papers that that Devin made, which were awesome, and it's like a shame to lose that. But what we do gain is that page that you can do the drawing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a win for sure.
But like, you know, we could have worked around that. End pages are the best, man. They're great.
And so everything in this book is like a statement. You know what I mean? It's like because this book is heavy, like a heavy occult manual. And I don't say that in being like hyperbolic or metaphysical. I'm saying in the sense of like the philosophy of the Eightfold Path is a concept, a Buddhist concept. And that concept is, to explain it really fast, Ian, the idea is the Eightfold Path is that life is not linear. You know, when you watch a movie and they're like, one, hero's journey, da-da-da. Like, you know, and at the end you fight the villain and then da-da-da. That's not how life works. Life is not linear. It's scrambled, you know, so it goes 1,000 different directions. Ian, you might end up living in Columbus, Ohio. You might end up moving here to Yellow Springs. You don't know what's going to happen in life. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know.
Yeah.
So life is more of a random. And so that's what this book is explaining, and it's doing it through the lens of EC Comics. So I use like the idea of the environment setting, and there they create like a campfire, and then they tell stories, and that's when we kind of go into the EC ideas. So it's a good idea, and it's a good book.
And I realized you did me a drawing in this book too.
Hell
Thank
yeah,
you.
dude. Hooked it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the characters. She works at like basically like an Amazon warehouse, but she has a sex bot. So it's pretty cool. So this book, Ian, I drew the whole thing. I did it in 3.5 months.
That's nuts, man. This is a thick book.
Yeah.
You're and it's not like this is good art too. It's
Yeah,
not like I would
it's
look at this.
art.
I don't look through this and think, oh yeah, this guy clearly did this in 3 months. That would have been my last thought. That's wild, man.
And so you can see, so this is done with me. I hired my homies to help me, and that's it. So the book was done in 3.5 months, and the reason why that happened, it's not Abram's fault. The book got written, and then it was done, and then it was set to be scheduled, and then the schedule got messed up because some people couldn't finish. Isn't that shit hard as fuck, Ian?
Yeah. Wait, so when that's like you're talking about homies, what do they do? Color or letters or?
Yeah, it depends. Like layouts or
just whatever needed to get done.
Whatever needed to get done. Yeah, it was a factory. It was like Motown. Yeah. So some people I had, because what we would do is set at a table, and I would have all the pages laid out. I would have all the thumbnails. Well, sorry, all the pages drawn. So then I would just like print them out, tape them, and we had like 5 light boxes, and I would just pass the papers. We would rotate them every 15 minutes and just draw like 7 pages a day, getting it done.
Sick, man.
Yeah. So that book I'm really proud
Skullhead's asking how many pages, and
I drew.
There's a few pages that aren't numbered, so it's 234 pages.
Yeah,
but it's more than that.
I drew 260 pages, but it was edited down to that amount. Now
there's pages that got cut, just full pages got cut.
Yeah, but not for any negative way. It's like some pages were redone, some pages were cut, because it wasn't like, not that it wasn't serving the story. It's just like the script was the script, and I've like expanded it past, added more. So they just took that out, so it's like fine, So the thing is with
we didn't hire you for a prologue, man.
What's that?
We don't want your prologue.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like, nah, Brian, leave that on the cutting board. A lot of people don't know this, and
the prologue. The prologue is the beginning or the end?
The prologue is the beginning, because it's well, let's see, the prelude and prologue. Prologue is after. Yeah.
Okay, so I was right.
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes I talk and I'm like, I don't know if I'm saying anything right now, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, I don't even trip off of it. If I say shit wrong, fuck it, I just apologize, because it's like I'm not here to be smart, so.
I'm cutting you off, though. I'm sorry. You were trying to say
okay. So, what happens is that, these pages I was drawing at 19 by 22 or whatever. So these pages are massive.
Damn.
So that's why you're able to get a lot of that clean line.
That's crazy, detail. Man. That's how I drew Neon Spring. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that again.
I won't do it. It's not smart. It's not smart.
It's not. It's smart if you're playing the original art market is popping.
Dude, totally.
And there's OAX, and I'm trying to get tapped into that scene.
Yeah, that's serious.
It's good to have.
Serious.
It's good to have that as like another way to make the money to make the comic. Like.
Ian, can you go back? Can you go back?
Yeah.
Ian, that right there on the left. Yep.
Here.
Yep. So that page there, that's probably the page I like the most in the book, where I was the most thoughtful. Like that's. So you'll see some of the book changes. This is kind of how I wanted the book to look, the entire thing. But some of the quality, because of the speed, So, and it's not that the quality reduces. I just change the style. So I'll go like, I'll flip it and do like a Alex Toth. I do a lot of Alex Toth riffing in this book. But this would be the closest to my natural style, I would say. Ian, the first story, yeah.
It's great, man.
Thank you, bro.
Figure right there.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's my friend Mary. So, yeah, that's what's up.
How would you say you learned to draw? You asked me a bunch of
Oh,
questions.
yeah.
2 nights that we talked. Like, how did this all come about? Were you schooled? Were you
Yeah, so for
solo
me,
schooled?
yeah, you know it. So like it's the term would be considered like autodidact. No, I had a mentor. So I was a latchkey kid, and so growing up poor, they send you to the rec centers. That's the 80s hustle is they send you to the rec center and you do classes there and you stay there till your parents get off work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a latchkey kid. Then after latchkey, they would send me to the rec center, and I'd be at the rec center until like 7:30 at night till my parents got off work and picked me up. And we didn't have a car, so they would get off the bus and then we would walk home. And it was like depressing as fuck in the winter, as you can imagine, because that was rough.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing I had was art. And so what happened is that I wasn't considered like a prodigy. That's not it. I was just like the guy who liked art, and I was considered like a bad artist. I wasn't even considered good. I didn't get good. Like, so for example, when you're young, Ian, you have people that they say are like naturally talented, like they're popular because they're talented. You know what I mean? I wasn't the talented kid. I was the kid who always drew, you know, the more narrow divergent kind of artist. So with my mentor, she taught me everything I had to learn about art. She taught me the game by 10. So by the age of 10, I was in charge of the studio, of like maintaining the studio. So I could, you know, flip a kiln. I could set up any sort of, you know, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I could do printing, animation. So I learned the game by 10, like literally.
Nice.
But the funny thing is, Ian, I never saw a comic until the age of 10. So when I was done,
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was this. It was this Thor and Juggernaut comic from like 1990. I'm gonna look it up. Juggernaut. It's funny because it's like comic. Let's say 90s. Let's do 90s.
This is great right here, man. I get sucked into.
Yeah, is that fun?
Good figure, man. I love that.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I got it right here. So it's Thor 249. And this book was from I think it was like 1990 probably. So but I was born in 81, Ian. So whereas most people grow up with comics, I seen newspaper comics, but not comic books. So when I saw that comic book, bro, it fucking like I was like you know, I just went fucking nuts. I was like,
yeah.
So that's when I became a criminal. So I started stealing comics because I was poor.
Oh,
and so
shit, man.
I stopped painting. I stopped going to the studio. I stopped having my mentor because I got to middle school, and I became a badass kid. And I was like, not like a criminal, but I was like poor. But then, so what happened was that at 14, I got hired by my church that I went to teach kids art at the YMCA. So I was a contractor at 14. And
wow.
So ever since then, I've been working in nonprofits or selling art to museums or making curriculum. So I write. I've published about 7 books through universities in my name, which just include stuff about Amina Robinson, Columbus Arts, or whatever, you know, doing design on a lot of that stuff. So that's how. So the way I got involved in the comic book scene, because, for example, everybody's going crazy over your interview with Jose coming up. But Jose's my dude. I've known Jose forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about him at some point because I've never talked to him.
Incredible.
And you say you pronounce it Jose.
Yeah.
That's right?
Yeah.
Because I hear people say it every different way.
Jose. Yeah, you can just ask him. He'll tell you. He's nice.
Yeah. Well, I believe you. I'll trust you.
I think Jose's Canadian also. I think he's Canadian.
I think he
I'm not
is.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
Toronto or
Yeah,
something.
so he's a sweetheart. Yeah, he's the nicest guy ever. And so that's one of the few pages right there I did digital actually. And that top drawing.
Yeah.
The rest of that's one of the few drawings I did digital because I didn't have time because I was keeping my deadline. And so,
dude, just I hate to break up the flow of the convo, but
fine.
like, just was it last night or the night before? You did the first panel, and then you I don't know if you fucked up the bottom or you did something wrong.
I fucked it up.
You flipped it over and finished the page on the back of that.
Yeah,
and then you cut it up and flipped it over. Yeah, it's just like people need to not be so precious all the time.
Oh yeah, dude. Because the way I learned comics, actually, in like the first comic book convention I went to, I didn't tell my mom or nobody. And I went to Chicago. Like it was like Wizard World '95. I got on Greyhound. I remember all this. The bus ticket on the Greyhound was $15, and that was for a round trip. 1995 Wizard World.
Wow.
And so I went there trying to get a job because I was poor, but I wanted to work in comics. But I was 14, dude. I was on the Greyhound at fucking 14, going to Chicago.
14, man.
Fucking hustling, dude. You know. And so I've been doing it for a long time, but I would say that it finally, so this story is crazy. This story, Ian, is about these people who go to this barbecue and they eat the meat of fucking slaves. And then they turn, they were white and they turn black. It's just crazy. They're black and they turn white. They reversed it. That's it. It's been a while since I read it. And
either way,
yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so this is actually owned by HBO. I think it's HBO has the rights for this.
Yeah, for the whole thing.
Yeah, they bought it before it was made. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm contracted with HBO or whatever, you know, but I haven't Abrams just updates me like every few months about it, but it's still they're still talking or something. It's already done. It just has to be finalized, but shit takes a long time.
Yeah, I chose this for the thumbnail, man.
Is that fun?
I was like, there's so much to choose. This is such a thick book, man. It's crazy. There's so much imagery to choose from.
So that style right there is
the random page.
Yeah, so that random, keep it right there real quick. So that's me doing
This is the Toth?
Toth. Can you flip back a couple of pages earlier so I can see? Okay. Yeah.
John
I mixed up Toth and I mixed up what's his name? Do you remember, Ian, the Mad artist, the cover where he did like it'd be like the long nose and the big teeth?
I probably would because I was obsessed with that when I was a kid.
Yeah, man. The chat will tell us. Anyway, so I mixed those two styles for that story.
What's the question for the chat? Who's the mad artist who?
Yeah, the mad artist. Yeah, who's the mad artist who? It's not Feldstein, but somebody like that. He does the really detailed cartoon faces. Huge influence on Robert Crumb. Yeah, Basil Wolverton. Yep, that's it. Yeah. So I mixed Basil Wolverton and Alex Toth on that. That following story right there with the gray, with the detective story, that style I made my own style for that. That's a unique. That's all through composition, Ian. So that one's I was trying to do a flex on people, but not like shitting on people, you know, but like making like a different style, you know.
Dude, I love this. Actually, I was going to bring up this topic of conversation regardless. Just the topic of conversation around changing styles within the same book or even within the same story. And part of it is just because I'm trying to talk myself into doing it for my comics. So I'm not like, as much as I love what I did, I don't want to do it exactly the same way for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And I almost want to just like approach it almost like my sketchbook where I'm really free. And like,
that's it, bro.
Yeah. Even if I'm chopping up pages, whatever it is, man. And like, so every day I'm waking up and I'm like, it's fun as hell and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Once you crack the code and you have that freedom of making a comic, you're getting paid just to hang out with your best friends at that point, bro.
Yeah, man.
And
I
so
love
whenever
this style, though. I wouldn't have even guessed
yeah, the Basil
what's
Wolvington is with the
implied.
ships. Look at the ships in that shit, and
I
that's all
still, I
Basil.
still wouldn't like look at this and be. I still feel like this is your own unique thing going on here,
Oh
man.
yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and that's the outcome is that it's designed to be you mix certain things to make it original and unique, but it feels, you can get those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Should I go back? Should we not
Yeah,
miss
let's see
stories
here.
here?
So this next
Let's
one,
go
I can
through
kind
it,
of
man.
walk people through some of these. So
Yeah.
whenever you see the blue pages, that's the outside of the story. So whenever you see like the titles, those are the stories. So with the next one, that one, the last word, this one is kind of like, I would say not the weakest, but this is the one where the first one that I had the group do, meaning like where I was leading. So it's kind of clunky, but I'm okay with the clunkiness of it. So we that first panel, it has Jeep from Popeye, the little mascot, because a lot of people don't know that the Jeep company named it after Popeye's friend. And so,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so I put little Jeep on there on the Jeep. Yep, you see
You talk
him
about
right
this?
there. Yep, you got it. Yep, him right there. Yep, that's from Popeye.
Sorry,
And so this story, I feel could have worked better if I would have had, but I don't mind doing this one first. So meaning like there's always going to be a sacrifice when you're trying to make something work as a group. So Ian, you can kind of tell, like, even though this is all my art, you can see that I use the same philosophies that I do with all of my collaborations and working, because if it's kind of what we're doing with Kayfam, it's not me, like it's our books, versus my book, it's literally all it is.
right. Yeah.
So all of this is on paper and just like light boxed, because I teach people to use just the pens, not to draw with pencil. So, and I was using this philosophy, I was calling it 5 lines, where I was telling everybody, like, draw 5 lines connected and then pick it up and do it again. So you'll see a lot of tangents in this story. And it's kind of like where they're figuring out how to get that rhythm going. So I don't mind some of the clunkiness to it because it's charming, It kind of adds a camp to it.
I mean, I hear everything you're saying, but it also looks great, man.
Oh, thank
Pretty
you, man.
solid.
Yeah, Abrams ain't complaining.
Excuse me, we see a lot of tangents in here. Can you change?
Yeah, they're not like
20 pages.
Yeah, they're like, Brian, we don't know about those tangents. Yeah. And what people try to talk shit about companies, man, it's not true, man. Abrams let me do whatever I want, man. And they're so awesome. They hit me up and they're so enthusiastic, and I owe them $16,000 right now. Like, my book didn't sell at all. So,
This book didn't sell at all?
No. I've sold around I think it's around 2,300 copies, which isn't bad, but they want to clear 5K, so that's why I still owe them $16,000. I'm always transparent, Ian, about about how the real industry works, meaning like how, because people try to hide that kind of information. That's corny, man, because how are you supposed to get to your level, Ian, if I'm not telling you the truth?
Yeah. I'm curious to know like what the truth is about everything all the time. I understand why people want to portray themselves a certain way. I get it, but
I think they do
that
that because they
of,
don't
like,
want to.
you don't want to be a loser, so don't act like a loser. Don't let
Yeah,
people know
exactly.
you're a loser.
Where it's like clearly, it's like
you're lying.
Yeah,
so
it's like, but you're a liar. So what's worse, a loser or a liar? A loser who keeps losing will eventually win.
Yeah. Also, this book is great. I'll be honest, like I haven't fully read it yet, but I will.
Yeah.
I totally will. No, I mean, I read everything, man. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. And it looks great. Like I feel like this is the type of book that could have something could happen, whether it's you or the writers, something happens and suddenly you're selling copies again.
Yeah, I'm not even tripping off of it, because what will happen is if HBO goes into production for the show, which they probably will because it's a brilliant idea and most ideas are bad, and you have prestigious people behind it, it's only a win. So it's one of those things. It's a nest egg sitting around.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I'm not.
You guys are optioned by HBO, or
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
something else?
Yeah, it was already purchased. Well, you got to break down the option though. What's the option? Is that referring to what exactly when you say that?
I think an option just refers to when a studio buys it, or they
Yeah,
temporarily own it.
yeah.
For like, they
Okay,
basically,
yeah.
it's like a temporary. It's not a license, but it's like
Right.
they own it for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
in that amount of time they can try to make a show or a movie.
Yeah,
and then when that time is up, they could either re-option or just let it go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
is that what you get?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
option? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, but they have been talking about starting it, so that's why I'm not tripping. Meaning, like HBO's been talking about it, so it's like, okay, cool. If they weren't talking about it, then I would be concerned.
No, this is wicked cool, man. I love this art.
Yeah, and so like the good thing about being published by a credible company is that it gives you prestige, as you know, Ian. It's a book that anyone can pick up on the shelves, but it doesn't change much. What it changes is that it does allow you to make more money. That's all that's true. What it doesn't do is like you really have to figure out if the book isn't successful, then they're not going to run it. You know what I mean? You have to really work your book because they don't have the marketing department. You know, it doesn't matter. And they
now more than ever, right?
What's that?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, especially now more than ever. That's just the way it works now.
Totally. So anyone who thinks like, oh, they need to pick me up or like they need to da-da-da, it's like they don't need to do shit because they're already struggling as companies. You know what I mean? So it's just the nature of the beast. And so I kind of wanted to put that in perspective, Ian, because it's easy to dunk on the companies. You know what I mean?
That's great, man. Taking personal accountability, responsibility. Yeah. I mean, that's where it's at. I hear a lot of creators talk like that. It's like,
okay, that's
you could get picked up by image, but it doesn't matter. Like they're only going to print a certain amount. They're only going to sell a certain amount. It is up to you to have your own career going and to get out there in the world and get the book out. Like we each just have to do that ourselves.
Totally, 100%, sir.
Especially this day and age, but no matter what publisher, it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. And so so with this book, it was a blast working on doing it and making it. And so
we're still in that story you considered clunky, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
this is not one, man. I don't see it. This is fluid, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I had a blast. I remember every panel drawing it where I was at exactly, you know.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of where I think the book starts to gel, where you kind of start getting like the flow of the character, the main character. I kind of started getting my style pulling out a little bit. I kind of really liked the panel that I was really proud of is on the right side, the middle panel, the two middle panels of her face. I like the coloring and the way that looks. It's pleasant. And so that's kind of where I was like, oh, this might work. You know, this might be good.
It works, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, on an art level, it works 100%.
Oh, man, thank you. Coming from you, that's an honor.
I mean, that page, the color, you're getting compliments about the color.
Oh, really?
What's his name? Tuvo says these colors rock.
Oh, thank
you. Like, they do, man. As I'm flipping through, it's like, I'm sure you could explain the decisions you made for each color and why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it just, at a glance, it looks like very deliberate, super conscious, very, a reason for everything.
Oh, it's very intentional. Yeah. Everything is very intentional. And so the right side there,
it gets dark.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Where the glow on her face, it's like soft enough, Ian. Like, that's so painterly, man. I was so proud of that. Those two panels rock, man. Those two panels I'm so proud of.
Great colors, man.
Man, thank you. Yeah, you're getting me hyped, Ian.
That's one thing I've been like really focusing on harder with my color is like, because I get quickly lost in saturation, like throwing every color at it. Like I literally want every color on every page and every panel. It's like, chill, man.
Yeah.
Chill. You got like muted colors. If you work mostly muted, when you put a little pop in, and this is still muted, but like that little brightness pops.
Man.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it's one of those things where I try to always pull back because you always have to remember, because like, so my mom was like, so I grew up in the hood, but my mom's white. I'm biracial, and my mom was the most pleasant Midwest woman ever.
Mm.
And so I always try to make art pleasant. I always think of my mom like, oh, she wouldn't want me to put all these colors on everything because she couldn't read it.
You saying that she would want more color?
No, she wants less. Like she wants it
She would want
like
less,
muted
okay.
because I try to think what normal people want. You know what I mean? Not what artists want. So if you see my drawings, I kind of draw a very simple, not necessarily simple, but deliberately readable. You know what I mean? Because you can OD and go crazy on the drawing, which I love to do, guys.
Yeah.
But like storytelling
Yeah.
has to be.
It's storytelling.
Yeah, it always goes back to storytelling, man. Yeah, these pages are beautiful, man. Look at them.
But yeah, it's like it's really hard, like because we love art, we want to draw the shit out of a page. It's not even showing off. It's just like you just want to make it look as cool as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what their focus should be like.
No, not at all.
I'm in a whole new phase of the way I'm making my comic right now. Whether I don't know how I'm gonna finish it, but like I'm sketching and it's real like shape, like very simple shapes, and I'm thinking in terms of lighting and shapes. Really,
yeah,
and like and storytelling, obviously, to tell the story.
Yeah,
and and obviously you could pick almost any image and be like, I'm gonna draw the shit out of this one. but I feel like this has to be a reason. It's like I'm gonna draw the shit out of it because you should linger on this.
Yeah,
page,
you're doing it with intention, totally.
But a lot of this is like, you read this and this shot should last as long as it takes you to read that, and then you should be on to the next panel.
Yeah. I think it's probably the most brilliant sequentialing I've done in my life. And it's one of those things where I think I know the book will be successful because I have to just change the world into the book. And what I mean by that, Ian, is like, with so much negativity out there, and our mission is to make things positive, impacting our community. And so I think this book is the thing that gives me the authority to speak that way and to try to make the world better. It's like kind of my mission statement.
Oh yeah, man.
Is so
the life continues to evolve and grow. I feel like this would sell if the jacket was off. It would sell even more.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm not lying, man. If I walked into a store, I would be like, "Oh,
yeah." Yeah, because like
this, especially, it's almost like just hang it up backwards on the shelf.
Yeah,
it's like what is that?
Would you like to see the original of that?
Hell yeah,
I'll
man!
Be right back. I'll show you guys.
Of course,
the art. If I can find it, but I think I know where it's at.
I love doing this. This is so fun, man.
Yeah, I don't really show off the art for it because I use it for exhibitions, and so.
You don't want to fuck it up, you mean?
Oh, sorry. 1 second. So the
I usually don't say you don't want to damage the art. Is that what you were talking about?
No, I usually don't show it because I save it for exhibitions.
Oh, okay, you want to limit exposure to the world.
Because then because I've shown this as an exhibition probably I think it's 7 times now. So a lot of people don't realize you can make money off of your comic by keeping it collected. Let me see. And so I've only sold 1 piece from the book, and it was a cover that wasn't used.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we were talking about, we kind of touched quickly on the subject of selling original art, and it's like, I don't really want to sell my original art, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of artists
I do it when I have to sometimes,
So, Ian, here it is. I have to stand really far back.
Sick. I was about to say it's reversed, but the image is just reversed.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can see it's deceptively simple, right?
Yeah, man.
But
it is, man. That's beautiful. That's great. Because you had an idea in your head of what would happen when you colored it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to fill it really quickly. And I'll show you some of...
That's real restraint. That's like real experience and knowledge and understanding of how to design something.
Because what happens, Ian, is that it's ego. And so everyone wants to display the ego. And I get it. But it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I wish it worked that way. So, you guys are going to see some shit. So check this out.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is 19. So that's going to be the first story, Ian. Yep, keep going. Yep,
There, I think
you got it. Yeah, so that's the page right there.
this is where you said, yeah, this is the story. You
So
thought
the page
your
on the
favorite
left
all the
I
stuff
can
in
pull.
here. Yeah.
But yeah, so you kind of get, so you would be surprised, but drawing, when you draw bigger, it gets simpler. And then here's that splash and
Yeah.
for the barbecue story. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah. So you can see the work's big, man, and it's all on paper.
That's awesome, man.
I'll show you this. This isn't from that book. I'll show you the oldest piece from. Actually, here, Ian. Here's you were liking this drawing right here. This illustration.
Oh yeah, there's my guy. There's my dude.
Yeah, you really like that drawing.
There he is.
I love the black and white story. Yeah, that's.
It's awesome.
So you can see, there's not really much to it, you know.
You're cartooning, man. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. It's just like the word cartooning is a word that I've always loved and taken and considered, you know, a great title.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so here,
that's why we love comics, man.
bro. That's why
best cartoonists.
Mm-hmm. That's why we do it. So I'll show you this last one. You'll appreciate this one if I can find it. There's a story behind this one. Yeah. Okay, so this is me and Eddie's first published work together.
Nice, man.
So it's Super Duty Tough Work. It's our zine we made, and you can see all the names. You know, you can see Eddie's name on there.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So
you have this available?
The zine?
Yeah.
I printed and made it. Yeah. So I only have one copy left of the original run, but I can reprint it so that people can buy it and have access to it. Or I can upload it as a download for people.
I have a feeling. Oh, I would love I'm a physical copy person. I'm sure
it's the most rare book Eddie's ever been in. I can say that for a fact because he has, I think, 4 pages. And so, do you know that picture of me and Eddie sitting when we're real young, and he has like a McFarlane book in his hand?
Maybe.
It's like we're like 20 something. Well, that's
on your Instagram.
Yeah, that's on both of them, all of them. I'll send you the picture later. But
okay.
This is where that comic was at. It was at Space 2012, I think, something like that.
That's like when you made it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can, but it's definitely the rarest.
Just scroll down and find that photo right now, but I don't know where.
Oh,
I don't know how far down it is.
There would be no way.
It's far down.
Yeah. The place that it would be easiest to find would be on Eddie P Day recently. I made it the image on our YouTube channel, so you can see it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
then
that's a full path.
Danny just commented reprint. I'm seconding that. Please reprint. I mean, I'll put down good money for that, man. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of other people will too.
I know one person who owns a signed copy, and I remember signing it. He messaged me when Eddie passed. I was like, "Do you remember I bought that?" And me and Eddie signed it. So yeah,
that's
I was
incredible.
like, "Dude, like I don't even have a signed Eddie autograph of our zine," you know.
Dale's checking in too, man. Dale says reprint. I mean, everyone drops some unicorns and reprints, man. Come on.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's one of those things, Ian, where I just don't think much of it because of it's like my friend, so I don't even think about it. But yeah, that is something that the public would love.
Hell yeah, man. Plus, I don't know. I'm always an advocate for everybody keeping their work in print and
it's important,
regardless of what it is. Like you happen to have something that's like an important historical piece of comic history now, which everyone's like, it's not going to be a secret now that the secret's out. Everyone's going to want it.
Yeah, exactly.
But regardless of who you are, like I just think you should always keep your stuff in print.
Yeah, a lot of people with that whole idealized trophyism thing, I'm not into that. I think you should make money and have sustainability for a living. So keeping things in print is something I learned when I was in Japan with manga.
Yeah.
That's why they beat us all the time, is because they keep their stuff in print, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dragon Ball
And
Z
Dark Horse,
all the
sadly,
time.
is like one of the main publishers of manga, and they let shit go out of print all the time, man.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like, what the hell, man? But then, like,
yeah,
I can't get Batman Silver Age anywhere, and any
right.
book that has is out of print, it's expensive. And I'm not even a huge Batman fan. I'm just like, I just want to study the Silver Age Batman stuff. That's
Right.
all, you know. So,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
artists studying art.
exactly.
We're art connoisseurs, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank
This
you.
is this deserves a shout out. This is a great way to do a title, man. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's going back to that EC, but I didn't make it exclusively like EC. I updated it. So the thing I'm really proud of in this story, Ian, is the economy. So like those buildings in the back, the
Yeah.
way that I colored and designed those, I'm really proud of, because it's
They're
quick.
awesome. Buildings. Every time I get into like a cityscape, I really need to experiment, and I need to bring in my more playful art into my comics, because every time I start a cityscape, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
This is gonna take 3 hours, 4
We
hours,
think of
5 hours, all
Otomo, we
night.
think of Jim Lee.
I
You know,
want
we
to
can't.
be Otomo. I can't lie, but like that I can't be doing an Otomo background.
Yeah, man, you
I
gotta
literally
subvert it.
can't. I literally can't do it. But even if I
Yeah,
could,
it's
I can't
impossible.
be doing that. Yeah, he had a team. He had a team of people doing that.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him, man.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one of them was Satoshi Kon, so like,
Oh
what the
shit.
hell?
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this,
you guys really did your research. You, Eddie, like Sean, the Japan book hunter. You guys know your shit, man.
oh dude, I appreciate
I'm
it.
catching up. I got a lot to learn, man. Because
Oh,
I'm
bro.
obsessed with it. I want to know more.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where like I usually just like go with the flow, and like if I'm into it, I just study it. But I'm such an art
Yeah.
head. Like I have like 15 different TVs in my house. We don't turn them on. We just are always arting. So this page I'm really proud of again, Ian. This composition was something I was doing as a challenge to like push my comfort level. And I think I'm so proud of this picture. I think it's so fucking brilliant and beautiful. Like I like looking at it. It looks so weird, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
This is reminding me. I forget what it was that you did. You did something with a character kicking an eyeball out of another character.
Yeah, that sounds like
low key reminds me of that.
Yeah. It probably came from this energy. So this is kind of like, you know, I wanted to give it, because there's not really much violence. So I wanted to put some violence up front. So with that, you just can go, yo, Lucy, what's going on? So that was fun. This, I wanted to change that into a night scene. So I wanted to like capture that feeling. Yo, they beat the shit out of him, dude.
This poor. What is he? Is he not human?
No, he's a human. Yeah, I just make him look crazy, because like in the 80s, crackheads look crazy in the 80s, bro.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I grew
they're
up
still out there. They're still looking a little rugged out there.
The 80s was such a party.
Now it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's scary, man. So yeah,
Yeah.
so with a lot of this, going back to stripping it down, just using iconography, isolation, you know, nighttime. Yeah, that panel is great. The coloring on that one's wild.
Yeah,
like
man.
that. Yeah. So this is a political story. So I have to go back and reread it, but it's a good one.
I'm looking forward to reading this, man.
Yeah, man. Take your time with it. I do recommend people read it, because it opens up a lot of your, it's very healing. So this page is right here. I had my friend draw these because I wanted to have a complete different style. And so these couple of pages right here, he designed, because it's like telling a story, like a story.
You're saying he did layouts and then you finished?
No, with this one, I had a friend of mine. His name's Jeff Sims. I had him draw this part completely. Like that's not. I didn't draw any of this, and he did a great job, because I wanted. So I'll do that, Ian. I'll have different artists. So, and it's kind of this is a bad reference because of how trash he is right now, but like how Kanye will use a lot of different people, and he won't even mind not being on a song. Like RZA does this too, you know, where they don't have to be the rapper, you know. And so I had my friend do those 2 pages to set the tone. So I'll do shit like that, Ian, to like completely flip it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But most people wouldn't provide that kind of space, because it has to be their show, you know.
Yeah, I understand it from both perspectives, but I want to get into the space where I'm like not doing shit alone. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great
it's
to have
not
a
any
team, man.
fun. It's
It's totally
boring.
great to have a team.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
always fun to like collab because think about Ian how much power and juice you got off of Odd Droppers covers, man. You've been that's done so much inspiration for you. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I've been, we've been doing this our whole lives. I've been doing this in one form or another my whole life. But once I got away from video, I was alone again, and it was hard. It was like I
Yeah.
was so used to being with a
Yeah.
team, and it wasn't that I didn't want to do. It's like I'm always fine doing the work myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even mind being alone. But it's like there's a real like inspiring, awesome, like goose pimple feeling you get when you're like it's the camaraderie is
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Because like what am I gonna do? Like sit and talk to myself about how cool my shit looks? Like, look at my shit. Look at
When you
my
hang up
cool shit.
when we hang up tonight, is that what goes on behind closed doors? When the stream ends, you're
Yeah,
still
the
talking.
stream So yeah, so with this story, Ian, this one's kind of like a really solid just tale. Like I said, I don't remember the details about it, but it definitely has like what it is that two friends grew up together and then one became a politician and the other one I think also became a politician or something, and I need
Oh
to go
no!
back and read it. It's been a few years, so
So it's a tragedy.
yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. You can see those colors get really weird, right?
They're good. I love them.
Thank you. Yeah, just having fun, man. Because a lot of it, so what happens in is a lot of times Warhol would talk about this all the time, and I've always paid attention to this. Warhol would talk about kind of making the artwork underwhelming. It's like the idea of settling the artwork down,
Hmm.
because a lot of times the reason why the floppy is so intense when it comes to the drawings is because it's such a short window of communication. Whereas like
Yeah.
since the format is changed to a graphic novel, the that's why we get angry at the graphic novels that sell are always the most boring ones. And it's because it's a long form document. You can't be distracted by like too much dope art. And I know that sounds crazy to most
No, I
people.
know, but I know what you're saying. All right, I
Yeah.
agree. It's like
And
I don't want to say it because there's so many artists who I fucking love, but the
yeah,
art is
plus
just like it's like a fine. Each panel is like a fine art painting that should be like, it should be 10 feet tall,
yeah.
and you should be staring at that for like
Yeah.
hours. And it's like the comics need to flow, and it's like, what's his name? Jorge Jimenez? Is it Jimenez?
Mhm.
Jimenez?
Yep.
Did the Meta Barons? Like he's one of my favorite artists. I think like I have the Meta Barons not in this room right now, but the art is just like it's hard to read it, and it's not just because like there's a lot to read because there is a lot to read. It's because the panels each image just you stop. I can't read it. I have to like stare at each panel
Yeah,
for like
yeah, it's too
20 minutes,
distracting.
and yeah, so I'm essentially not experiencing a story at that point.
Yeah, and the at the end of the day, you are telling a story, so you always have to remember that the
That's a hard
artist.
pill to swallow, man, because I don't even think of it as ego. It's just like I want to make a sick piece of art. Maybe that is ego,
Well,
but
I think
yeah, it's
I
like
think where the ego gets in the way is because why can't it be like a soft piece of art or
right,
like a quiet piece of art or
yeah,
a
yeah,
so
yeah.
you just have to ask yourself these questions like, oh well, what if I do this? But I'm with you, Ian. This is the problem I have is because I get hyped when I see like let's say your book like with Neon Spring, and I'm like, man, I want to make cool shit now. You know what I'm saying? So
Dude, you
you.
make cool shit. Make cool
Thank
shit.
you. But like you always
This
want to,
is
but you know how
this is
that
so
like,
cool, man.
thank you,
Stylistically,
man.
aesthetically, super cool, and then like, what's her name? Broken Nose Betty is
Yeah.
cool as shit.
Oh
And this
man,
is a
thank
dope.
you.
You
No,
have a
there's
fisheye lens going on in a lot of your
dude,
work.
totally, totally.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And so with like this book, it was just it was one of those things where kind of like taking everything I learned and put it into one thing, and like
This
yep, mm-hmm.
this
It,
story or the whole book.
even the story. So making this my debut, working with Charles and both the authors, I it's one of those things where for me it's important to have the whole experience there. So yeah, so it's literally everything. And so like I've turned down graphic novels before to work for companies. Like that's never been a problem. But when I got this story, I was like, okay, I want this to be something special, something unique. You know what I mean? Something fresh, something new.
Nice. Yeah, you were feeling this one?
Yeah, so I'm really proud of this book. And so it's afforded me to have an awesome career. And so yeah, it's really cool. And so yeah, with that, yeah, I remember drawing this stuff. Yeah, this was so fun. Work. This is where we really got into doing the 5-line thing. So let's say the main character, you see those three, actually the three dudes on the right. That's the 5-line effect where I tell the artist to draw 5 lines and pick it up and draw another set of 5 lines because it gets snappy. And then
you mean like lay things in
yeah,
quick essentially with minimal
with
line?
inking,
That's
yeah.
the idea?
Yeah, with the process of inking, yep.
Gotcha.
So just shorthanding the inking process because it's like, but it ends up looking kind of weird. So like something like that panel, I can see it's 3 different artists on that one panel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but it still works well. It's all it works. So it looks great.
That's hilarious,
yeah.
man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, now maybe I could see, but it's cohesive.
Yeah,
like,
thank you, bro.
It's like that could be an issue if other people were working together or under different leadership,
Yeah.
but this is a non-issue, and it's hilarious to know the behind the scenes, man.
Thank you, bro.
I love it. I love it, man. I always like a good excuse to shout out to Tomo. How do you say his name? Is it Tuvo? Is that a homie in the Kayfam?
I go with Tavo. Yeah, Tavo.
Sorry if we're saying your name wrong. But Atomo is like a perfect balance of detail and action flow, and that's the goddamn truth, man. We're like, I love painters. I love painting, but it's like if you're making every panel too much of a piece of fine art with too much detail,
yeah, man.
Like,
that's where that Alex Ross thing gets weird to me, man. You know,
yeah.
I love Alex Ross, but it's just like
I love Alex Ross too, man. Kingdom Come made me cry.
Real,
I actually cried when I read it,
bro. Preach.
But I think a lot of us I don't want to talk shit, but
yeah,
I think we're not the first ones to say it. Alex Ross is like, it's kind of, we love it as art. It's kind of hard to digest as a comic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Adam Hughes actually suffers from the same problem also. Like his covers are brilliant, and some of his early comics, he was able to really get down some of the language of like being like getting the page done. Yeah. But with a lot of his later work, it's just he's so into what he's doing that it's hard for him to pull back.
I'm probably not up on my Hughes because I don't know what you're referring to.
He's like a cover artist guy. He does.
No, I mean I know who he is. I just haven't seen
any of his sequential stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say a guy who does it really well is Dave Cooper. His style.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
His comics are balanced because it's like cartoony but detailed, but then he does this painterly rendered thing. But then he'll pull all the way back and just do pencils. And it's like, oh, this guy's the shit. He's free, you know?
Yeah, he paints the shit out of it, and it's painterly, but it's super cartoony, and the overall shapes are simple.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got something new. You're just reminding me. He's got something new.
Yeah, keep that, man. He has like a new comic coming out or something, or he did a comic.
I think it came out.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
okay.
I want to say Jim and Ed interviewed him about it before.
I know. I think they did do a Dave Cooper interview. I actually want to talk to him. I haven't talked to him before. Like he follows me and stuff and likes my stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I need to talk to him, that guy, because he seems like a real sweetheart, like a nice guy.
I like the concept behind you not wanting to bring heavy hitters onto the onto your power to the panel. I don't know if you should like start a different channel or what, but you're really good at what you do. Maybe you could just consider it like a shit interview and just call it something.
And I know that people want that stuff because I know all these people in general. You know what I mean? Like, or I can get a hold of them. I have the means, but it's one of those things where it's like, I think because I've heard them talk for so long that I don't find them interesting. I find like,
I thought you were just kind of like protecting the Kayfam and looking after them and like, trying to give the Kayfam a space.
Well, trust me, people watch it and they inbox me, and like the pros are really proud of what everybody's doing. You know, like I just don't talk about it publicly because I don't want to like put up too much hype because like there's so much work to be done. But yeah,
Rami's saying I want it so bad.
Because here's the thing: do you think Jeff Duro is interested in listening to some peer of his if he's not going to watch a video of his friend he just talked to on the phone for 5 hours. Like, I mean, he's going to watch something that some young kids because he has a young daughter who works in the industry. So he's trying to relate to her. So he's going to watch the same shit she's watching. So you have to think, like, they don't even want to see, like, hear from them. You know, they want to hear what new people are doing because they want to be young and hip. Like, Ian, as you get older, aren't you interested in what young people are doing more? Isn't it more interesting?
I'm interested in all directions, to be honest with you. But I don't want to become totally unaware of new shit. I'm with you.
Oh man, yeah. The worst thing you could be.
The answer is yes. I'm not saying no at all. I'm definitely saying yes, but I'm also saying I'm also digging for old shit. I want to learn about the old timers still. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. And and that's something I'm learning because I'm actually shocked, Ian, that like I had the information that like Eddie and them were talking about. That stuff's like child's play. Like we talk about that shit all the time, you know. So to me, when people are like, "Oh man, I didn't know this," I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. That was just our conversations," you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of that was conversations we have already had on that. That's why I don't watch the channel because I'm like, well, I know what they're saying. Like I was there, you know. But
no, I hear
have to
what you're
learn.
saying. Yeah, when you're close to it and you're homie and you're in it, it's less of a thing. And it's like, but yeah, from the outside, everybody wishes they could hear what you were talking about.
I had no clue, bro. And so that's what I'm learning, man. That's where I'm learning that humility and that ego shit. Where I'm like, well, no, this is important information, you know. Like, and and like I said, there's stuff about. I could do a whole commentary on Eddie's book of the Switchblade Shorties. I could do a whole commentary on the Cartoon Kayfabe channel. Like, that's how much information I know, you know, like because I was there. But I say that in the sense of like, there's a value to that, and that's why I'm learning now.
Yeah.
I didn't know people were interested in that stuff, Ian, because who would want to be interested in like I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I see how huge it is. I see how big information is now.
Yeah, this will be an ongoing conversation. I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one. It's not begging, but like, you know, nudging you to figure out a way to bring the people you know onto the show.
Okay, yeah, you definitely persuaded me because I was like, oh yeah, like I mean,
like I think it's not just admirable. I think it's like what I want. Also what I want to be doing. No, I was going to go back to just like keeping them off, right? Like it's like I want to talk to indie creators who are unknown. Like that's something I want to make sure I do for the rest of my life, and like that's totally what I'm doing right now, you know. And you know, but of course, if I could talk to Greg Capullo, I would. You know, I would not say no. I wouldn't say no to that. I would fucking die a little bit, you know. I'd be like, holy shit.
That's fair. Yeah, see, that makes sense now to me, Ian, because I would be like, no, you can't come on my channel. You're not selling to my base. Like, I would think of it that way. I would take it as disrespect because I would be like, dude, where the fuck were you? You know, but I shouldn't be that way. That's me being jaded and me being hurt because of the Ed situation. That's not fair to like kill culture that way. Like, I need to quit being a dick, you know?
If that's certainly, you just said it. You just said something pretty incredible right now. But even just the concept of like, going back to why I like that you're not doing it right now, is because like when something grows, when you're talking to basically celebrities or the heaviest hitters, then it grows into something huge, and then you're literally the opposite of what you are right now.
Right.
It's like giving space to the people who need it, who like don't have it, you know.
Yeah, so exactly. That's my point. Because like
tough choice to make.
But I think there's a balance though. So when I use people like Brandon Graham, Jim Mahfood, like for example, like I could easily get Jimmy on here, but I would never ask Jimmy to come on the channel because then it turns into cartoon kayfabe and then there's an expectation. And Jimmy's happy making fucking alien comics like the same way I'm happy making alien comics. You know what I mean?
Dude, when you flipped through this the other night, that was the first time I also flipped through it, man.
Isn't it incredible?
It was great. It wasn't what I expected. I didn't realize that he did what he did.
Jimmy's happy, man. You're seeing a happy Jimmy, man. Yeah.
Happy Jimmy, man.
Yeah, he's forgiven himself, man. You know? He's back in the groove.
That's good.
Yeah. So a good example of this is like Brandon Graham. Troy Nixie is another example. So Troy Nixie's like my art mentor on the internet. Like,
oh, nice.
You know, we talk. and like we talk about private shit, you know, he always is like send me pictures of his kids, you know, it's like beautiful, man. And so I like that relationship the way it is. But Troy's like wants to come on the channel, but then he backs off and he's like, I'm not sure, like, because it's like,
It's
you know what I
because it's
mean?
so intimate.
Yeah, you know, and then it's like, and then so I try not to bring up Eddie shit to like people because I ain't trying to like. Me and John Jennings were talking about it. Like John Jennings damn near cried. It's like, man, I ain't trying to get people upset like that, man. Like it hurts a lot of people, you know. But even the idea of the channel feels now like there's an expectation for these guys. So because they're seeing
Right,
what
right.
everybody else is doing, so they're driven and inspired. So like I said, they see what you guys are doing, and you guys got fans from the pros. Let me just put it out there. And I'm talking to the base, the people in the chat too, Ian, including you. You know, our Kayfam stuff. So.
Hey, fam, man. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful moment in time. Like I try to be as like aware of when something beautiful is happening as I could possibly be, and not not look past it.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I don't want to
Yeah,
because that's
I
like a
used to be
thing
that
people do. Like 10 years go by and then you look back and you're like, oh
man.
fuck, that everything was actually really great.
Yeah,
And like
man.
this, things are really good right now. There's like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
great things going on. Like I go between your channel and a few other like main channels that I'm into right now, and like it's awesome, man. Like I like the fact that all I'm doing is flipping through indie comics
Yeah,
right now, and that I haven't had
man. It's
a
so
major
much fun.
celebrity on.
Yeah,
As
man.
much as I would love to talk back to Greg Capullo or who you
Yeah.
name it, anyone, any hero of mine, I
Mm-hmm.
love the fact that I'm just talking to homies, and
Yeah.
there's no expectation. Like I feel very
Right.
free right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
once
man.
it becomes a big thing, the pressure is real, man, and
Yeah, and that's
not
the
made
thing is,
up.
and when you distribute power like how I did, then you can keep it honest and keep it sincere because now what it is instead of me having this big vertical, it's more like it's kind of like we have a dome, you know, where it's like I'm at the top of the dome and it gradually curves over thousands of people who are involved. And the people at the bottom are the foundation who are developing their skills and their talent, and they will ascend. And the higher you get to the dome, the closer you are to the light. So I just kind of see it as like a spherical metaphor, stoner kind of thing, you know, whatever. You know, it's cool.
Oh yeah,
Because
man.
there's not really because as you know, Ian, like Ian's channel, Ian has way more followers. Ian's platform, he's built this up over time. It has the branding and everything. So it's like to be here, it's a true honor, and it's also an honor to be able to interview you. You know what I mean? So it's like how fun is this? Like it's an authentic, genuine relationship. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just like I can only speak for myself, but I know I'm not the only one. Like we don't get it in the world, It's
No,
like it's easy. You can go to any party anywhere and talk about movies. You can go to any party anywhere and talk about music, but you can't go to any party anywhere and talk about comics. So when we find each other, it's like it's a whole other level of connection, man.
yeah, you see, I laughed when you said go to a party and talk about comics. I'm like,
I mean,
dude, what are you
I
trying to do?
have
Get
been
kicked out
lately.
the party, you fucking dork?
I've been coming back out of the closet again as a comic lover, man. I'll
Right,
talk about it
exactly.
anyway.
But the thing is,
What
the reason
up,
why
Jerome?
comics aren't cool is because we failed in promoting them and making them cool because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
corny people got a hold of them. So and it takes people like us, the cool cats, to make comics cool again. You know, make them hip.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, I'm all about it. I'm like, I want to make him hip. I want to bring him into the fine art world too.
Yeah,
You know,
totally, man.
like,
Yeah,
because
there's
like
room.
I know for a fact, like almost every fine artist or artist who's awesome, they actually do like comics,
They all like
but for some reason, like
comics. They're
the
all
fine
like
art world in
closeted.
quotes.
Yeah, they're closeted.
But no, I don't even think the artists themselves are closeted. But I'm putting air quotes up as like the fine art world, like the dealers and
Oh,
the culture around it. Those people don't like
yeah.
comics,
Oh, they
So
hate them.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, and
comics are
but
weird to those people.
it's insane because you're basically, you're latched onto this concept of what an artist is, and if you really studied and analyzed the artist that you're selling and loving and mooching on, they also love comics, but for whatever
Right.
reason.
Yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
say, do you know this guy Troy? What's his name? Troy Jeffrey Allen. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get his name right. Yeah, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
You haven't met him? He does Afro Futures. He's got a. I'll I'll send you his magazine, or have him send it to you.
Okay.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah.
He put up a funny post.
If I do know him, I apologize. I don't recall. I
He
apologize.
put he Yeah. Well, we'll make sure we're all connected. It's, we're all building here, man. But he put up a funny post recently where I think it was Frazetta. He posted a photo of Frazetta with the shirt off, and I don't know if it was his wife or the hot chick behind him.
I know the
I
image.
think you know the picture, right? And he's like, let's make comics fucking sexy. Like, let's make comic artists sexy.
Yeah.
So everybody started posting like cool images of comic artists, except for a few people who clowned in the comments posting a funny ass picture. But yeah, I mean, we could do this, man.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
it is fucking cool.
Yeah, I always look at it as like, because if you look at comics culturally, they're everywhere. Like it's never not been hip. Like, famous people like wear comic stuff. It's not even. It's more so, the wrong people are making the statement. So think about it. The people who wear the comic book shirts that are like, let's say, okay, let's put it like this. Let's switch the conversation to AI. The people complaining about AI versus the people who are using AI, those are two different worlds. So if you're an artist and you have to exist in those two worlds, you're going to end up in the middle where you have to negotiate to be successful. And so
that's where
comics.
I was when NFTs were popping off. I was very much sandwiched between exactly the same thing you just described.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking real, man. It's fucking real.
Like, I could get canceled in one direction. I was getting hate on Twitter, which I never received before.
Of course.
But I was also getting paid in another direction.
Yeah, exactly. It's the most, not even diabolical. It's the most fucked, because you're not operating from a space of greed. You're just trying to do your job. It's like
I wasn't being greedy at all, dude. I turned down an option to make a ton of money with NFTs.
Yeah, man.
And instead, I chose $9,000 over essentially what would have been $150,000, because I just didn't like. I didn't like what they were doing.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was like not down with what the team was up to. So I was like, fuck it, pay me $9,000, and I cried a little bit. Well, I realized I could have made $150. Well, but like,
it's interesting, Ian, that you bring that up, because a lot of people would actually be like, the natural reaction would be, man, he's stupid, da da da. But what it is like, so let's say you made that money. That would take you so far away from your art goals, because you would have time and you would have this different lifestyle. So you would basically be trading your art and your passion for lifestyle, and you would be chasing the NFT money. So a lot of people don't realize that the hard reality is that you wouldn't do that. Like, you could not even do it if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Because you're such an artist. And a lot of people don't realize the integrity of an artist.
I feel like I did make an ethical choice, because I predicted that the thing was going to go nowhere, and they call it rugging.
Yeah, right? I'm familiar.
Like, that term.
They pull the rug.
Yeah, that project rugged, man. Yeah, it totally rugged. And like, I called it. I was right. I don't need to brag about being right.
No, brag.
I chose not to be a partner, because then I would have been a rugger. I would have officially been a rugger at that point. Yeah, and like.
Yeah, and then,
I post everything I do. I didn't post anything about that shit, man. Nobody even knows what project it was.
That's good, man. Because the thing is like, what happens, the reason why people fail as artists, and I never failed as an artist, is because, and that sounds crazy because it sounds like fucking ego when you say it, but you'll understand where I'm coming from, is that, Ian, like, I never saw it as a different option. So I've never tried to exit art for a quick side hustle. I've always stayed in art. So the reason why I can sell a painting, so I don't talk about it, but if I post a painting, Ian, it's sold. I don't put sold. It barely stays up, but it's because it's my job. Yeah. I'm supposed to sell art. I don't have to advertise to sell. Everything sells. Because it's supposed to. Because I learned how to sell art, because I didn't give myself a way out of like a hustle. Like, oh, I'm going to get rich making shirts, or I'm going to do the NFT. So the fact that you, that shows your character. And it shows that you're really an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag too much or like make myself out to be like I'm a good guy, but I felt really weird about it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think there's an education there that people are learning. So this story,
to your gut,
yeah,
right?
totally. So Ian, this comic right here, this one is the sex story, the sex bot story. And
nice.
this one, I kind of made it into a love story, so you can kind of see it has like those kind of flavors. And here's the thing that's going to blow your guys' mind is that Rachel colored this story.
Oh, that's awesome,
Colored
dude.
it on her
It's
iPad.
getting better. It's just your relationship is truly a powerful one, man.
Thank you, bro.
I
So
I always point out when people put a date, like if you're gonna go future, go like future where we won't see it, because like how many people have made the mistake of hitting a date that we've already passed? It's like,
bro, 1999 flying cars and shit.
Dude, let's get to the 5,000s, man. Let's be then you can't fuck it up.
Right, exactly. There's only potentials.
Yeah, I didn't want to flip while we were talking because I want to get you talking about these things. You know?
Yeah.
Did you want to go back and say anything about this?
No, that's
because
pretty straightforward.
Comment about
that story. That right
splashes are great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that right side is me duplicating the composition from the front of the story, where they're slicing his face. So it's like, right. Yeah, so it has the same mirrored perspective idea.
Yeah, we'll do
that for sure.
You're talking about this?
Yep. On the left there. Yep. And then we got.
I lost the page. There we go.
Yeah. So those are the same compositions. Aren't those fun? So yeah, so that's kind of like the mirroring of the story. And so with this one, that story, there's not really too much to it. It's the most straightforward kind of process and story. But with the sex bot story, that one was actually supposed to be really hardcore, but I actually censored it because it was too hardcore. And so they wanted me to draw really crazy shit in it. And I wanted to, but I was like, man, kids are going to see this book. So I had to like try to tame it. Now that's
hard. That's a hard decision to make because I want to go like full hardcore too, but I'm realizing, everything from the politics of the character in my comic to the sexual content to the violence, it just limits where it's going to go and how much. I'm not even concerned about sales. I just really want more people to see it, and like.
No, I feel you on that. And so,
but I don't want to sacrifice at the same time.
And so the artist that I used to influence this book was Guy Peelart, which we were looking at earlier, with just the simple line.
That's the book you brought out when we were talking about Wesley's book?
Yeah, and I'll actually bring out.
I see it. Yeah. Everything from the line work to the color, man.
Yeah, totally. And so that's kind of the main crux. So you can kind of see here. I'm holding up the pages. So I mean, not the pages, but the book. So you can even see like some of that color even transferred. So with this,
this is really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to keep
styles. Every story is great, man, and I like that the style like does change, but it's all really unified at the same time.
It's still I still kind of keep it in the pocket of like everything's gonna be, kind of still in the same design sense,
Yeah.
And so I don't really bend the style too hard because I kind of want it to flow. Because if you make it too abrupt, it disrupts your reader. Then they start making decisions like, I like this story, I don't like this story, versus like, I like the whole book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you kind of want it to blend a little bit. With this being a love story, I kind of wanted it to have these psychedelic love, but not I would compare it to, do you remember in that Dread film where they were taking that drug slow-mo? Did you ever see that movie? Dread?
Which Dread? The one, is that the one with Stallone or the newer one?
Yeah, the newer one. You can tell Ian was more.
Oh yeah. The newer one was awesome.
Yeah,
man. I'm not remembering it right now, but that movie should have been. That movie deserves more respect, man.
Dude, yeah, it's like a Fury Road-esque film. It's like in the same vein of like surprise of how brilliant it is.
Yeah.
So this comic, so that idea of that drug, that slow-mo, I kind of wanted it to have that kind of same feeling in this book. And so this world is all curves, Ian. So you'll see that the vehicles and the buildings, everything has curvature.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple but sci-fi. And like I said, the way I taught Rachel, because this was Rachel's first time coloring, and she said, I don't know how to color. I said, here's the 5 colors. You can use them in any way you want to.
Whoa. So we're dealing with only 5 colors? colors
Well,
are
I
nice, man.
say that in generically speaking, but yeah, there's not much color to it because all of it's just grayscaled and then the color drops in, you know? So some of it's all flat.
You did a great job, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it works.
There's I'm sorry, what are you saying?
Oh, I apologize. I was saying I think it works.
Oh, it works 100%. This
Oh,
is great.
thank you. Yeah, like that left page there, I think that idea was a little clunky. Like I think that those 2 pages right there are a little clunky as an example. If people were, because I don't ever, I'm critical, but I love myself, so I don't like go too hard. But I feel like those 2 pages could have been, if I had more time, I could have developed that a little bit more because I like the idea, but I don't think I execute it as well as it could be.
Yeah, that's a you thing because I'm pretty sure most people just be like, "This is dope." This is cool. Only we know what we wish it was, you know?
Yeah. So. And it's one of those things where I'm not even like insecure where I'm like, oh man, this isn't done. It's more so like, well, it's a good idea, but it's just kind of like a quick idea versus I wanted to slow the reader down there a little bit.
You think it's the type of thing you could bring into The Last Unicorn or Project?
A lot of things I'm repairing from this book are appearing in The Last Unicorn. So like the more thorough drawing, but I pull back on the writing a lot. So a lot of people, Ian, they think that comics have to have this profound big writings, because we think we have to show how smart we are. But really it's just communicating story, you know. So
yeah. If you're trying to show off how smart you are, you fall into a trap.
Yeah, man.
That's not the point.
Because ain't nobody over here trying to get no A. So that page on the right, Ian, where the building is, that building, how it breaks into those panels. I've stole that a long time ago from Bill Sinkovich. He does it in Elektra. I think it's Elektra the Assassin, or that. No, it's a Daredevil book. And there's like where he'll do a building, and it'll just be one building, but he breaks it into panels. And I'm like,
you were showing this last night. Is it in here?
It could be, man. Yeah. Let's see if it's in there. Let's see if it pops up, because that one Moon Knight page might have it, you know?
The Moon Knight?
Maybe. Isn't that book great, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember
that doesn't have it in there, but it's kind of the same trope though, in the sense of like he the way he draws his buildings. But yeah, so that's a complete, but that's just one building. I just broke up with the panels.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, it works, right? I love this page.
Danny just said, too many people think they're the next Alan Moore.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm just trying to be the next Charles Schultz, man. He's way more successful than Alan Moore.
Danny, you just shattered my whole reality.
It's because Alan, if you go back and watch a lot of that Alan Moore stuff, you can tell that he was just getting everyone's go. Like, he's just such a great writer that he's just kind of like, you know, seducing everybody through his interviews, or like his videos. But I love
Alan Moore is?
What's that?
Yeah, he's a trickster, man. You're talking about Alan Moore?
Yeah, he's a super trickster. I love Alan Moore. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a real world trickster, man. Stories about him are crazy.
Yeah. So with this story, I won't give up the reveal in this, just because.
Should I skip?
No, it should be okay. I don't think they can. You should be fine. It should be okay. So then they're in this whole sex club at this point, and this was where they wanted me to make it really crazy. And I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna like chill, you know. But like things like that are good ideas, you know.
You did it tastefully and definitely skirted around.
It was crazy. I'll tell you guys off camera. But it was like crazy shit, dude. But I wanted to keep I wanted to keep it fun.
I just read Mahfoud's Savage Street Vigilante.
Dude, I need to get that fucking book. I missed the Kickstarter, man.
It's nutty, dude. I'm just gonna real quick flash something.
Yeah.
Because
I seen those original pages. I told him to get
this video gets flagged, we'll just do more lives.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck it, bro. We'll rock it.
I did not expect it to get as crazy as it gets. It gets crazy. Let me just skip ahead here to where it gets crazy.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
He ends up in this incubator, and then and then it just goes raunch. It just gets crazy, man. And it doesn't stop. It's like crazier and crazier.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm glad he did it. I feel like someone at his his
Wow.
prestige to
That
like
book
push it
is
to that.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. Like he just didn't give a fuck. He was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go all the way.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to linger too long on him.
Yeah,
This is
I
your
get
show.
it. I get it.
Like,
Man.
yeah, man.
So when Jim was doing this book, he was like, he had like 5 pages done. And so I was looking at him. We were at breakfast and I was looking at him and I was like, fuck, Jim, you have to finish this and make a fucking Kickstarter, get that money. I said, you'll make so much money. And, and when he got his money, I messaged him like, yo, fucking dude, you did so well. He's like, man, thanks. You guys really hyped me up. I said, bro, yes, bro. That's what we do.
Yeah, people fucking rallied around this book, man.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm so proud of Jim because Mahfood, I feel, hasn't got his he hasn't got his credit he deserves for being super indie and being like mainstream, but like fuck him, you know, and like doing his thing. And so yeah, Mahfood, like this, he went, and this is beautiful. I didn't realize how beautiful. Yeah, man.
And like I'm flipping through, but if you actually read it, it's actually insane. It's really fucking crazy.
Yeah, so if you open that, I can tell you the original pages. So I saw, I'm not sure. I don't think I didn't see that page. I think
What
I saw
a spread, man.
that one. What's the next one? Let's see here. Because it's going to be a sequence. Keep turning, because some of this he did before and after. Yeah, keep going. I want to see, because I haven't seen this book yet, so I want to see where the Joker scene is. There's like, it should be like,
oh, the Joker?
Yeah, is there a Joker in there?
Yeah. Where is that? I think I showed it, but we can flip to it again. This is the Superman.
Is there a Joker? Where's a chainsaw? Does Batman have a chainsaw?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Let's see.
I wonder if he'd end up not printing these pages. Holy shit.
No, I think what you're describing is in here, but let me keep going.
Yeah, you're
let me
fine.
go again.
Like I said, I've never seen this, so I don't know.
There's a chainsaw. My mind is failing me right now.
No, you're fine, bro.
Funny how you can. Oh, here is a chainsaw. That's what you saw?
That is beautiful. No, that's not it. Okay, so the pages that.
Well, he's just destroying aliens. Like it starts on Earth, he goes crazy and loses his mind.
Okay, so the pages
murdering everybody.
The pages that I saw, he didn't publish those. So I've seen unfinished or unpublished pages. Oh, this is it. Damn. Yeah, nope, Ian, this is it. I recognize it now. Yeah, so that Joker page, yeah, that I saw that in real life. Yeah, isn't that page amazing? It looks just like that. And
I feel like
and then the
you work on
the
a level
pages
similar
before that
to him.
I've seen too, Ian.
I feel like you work on a level similar to him, where you guys are like super free with your art.
Yeah,
like you're direct. You're putting it down. You're not fussing and trying to fix things 100 different times. You're just like, you commit. You know, you go straight to ink.
Yeah,
like I don't think he pencils.
Yeah. So
sometimes
Mahfood, what he does, he's actually works really slow, surprisingly, but so a lot of this is very methodical. I always thought Mahfood did feel really kinetic, fast like me. It's not that he doesn't draw fast. The fucker could draw super fast. I know, right? We know this.
I know what you're saying.
But it's like, but he's very. I think he likes the slow pace to it, Ian, because it's like almost like jazz to him. I think that's how he sees it, which is interesting, right? Like, but it goes back to that funk idea, you know? So I think he likes the idea of drawing in that world, because Mahfood will like go to the coffee shop in the morning and do morning drawings. Like, he lives the lifestyle, man. Like, but he only had a few of those pages done. He had like 5 of them done. That's awesome. Yeah. But he could do all that through pen. Yeah, he could do ballpoint that whole comic. Yeah.
I want to also put it in perspective. he draws slow compared to you.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, they call it
he's deliberate, because like you can see him draw on the ink pulp. I forget, they have like the break off one where they draw live or whatever.
Okay.
So he's not going slow, but he's not. I agree with you. He's not going as fast
Yeah,
as you would assume.
because you would think it was frenetic, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It really man.
yeah, so with the
Sex story.
yeah, so with that one, Ian, that book, that story, it's very that one's really cool. So I think this story is one of the better ones. And the artwork, I think is really interesting. I think this is kind of where we got into the groove of really just like cranking it out, you know, like the pages. And so it has a really good flow to it. And so so you can kind of see how the with this one there's and like I said, I don't want to reveal too much of this one, but you're fine, Ian. They would have to read it.
Okay.
Isn't that character great, Ian? His hair awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't draw.
Is he at all a reference to that Jodorowsky book, Woman of the Sacred Heart? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I love that book.
Is this character at all a reference to that character, or not even?
But it's my favorite Jodorowsky book because it's a comic about phenomenology, and so that book I've read it 100 times, and so it definitely is an influence. Because this would have a Mobius-esque style, because as you know, it has the I'm kind of referencing Fifth Element in a lot of ways, and so that's Mobius did a lot of the design work on that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, this comic is great. I would like to see figures made of these things. Be really cool.
That can happen, man.
I know, today's day.
Is anyone in the Kayfam into the 3D space? Does anyone?
Yeah, we need to get some. I don't think we do, but we probably have some tinkerers, you know, some artists tinkering.
Yeah, this is trippy, man. I could tell it's like a cerebral thing at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like it does enough to subvert and enough to keep you reading. So, like I said, yeah, isn't that great?
Nightmare material.
Because this is where it starts getting stripped down and very simple. But like I said, I think this style works because it kind of has like a Aeon Flux kind of crudeness to it, you know, and then it has like the color to it. So I like it. I love it. I think it works so well.
I love it too, man. I obviously I'll get back to you on if I have a favorite when I read it, but
for sure,
I love the visual style on this one for sure, man. It's great.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Shiva says he's done experiments in ZBrush.
Nice. Yeah, dude, he's on top of it. He does everything.
So now we're heading into a new story. This is the one that we went through. We talked about this one.
Yeah, the Basil Wolvington one.
Yeah, this is great, man.
I love this.
I'm still surprised that you work so big, because this is like your mastery is that you understand design and what you need it to be, because most people would at this size go fucking insane.
Yeah, they would totally fill out as a Wally-Wood space thing.
You managed to keep it,
dude. Yeah,
the shapes are
it's like, nah, man, because you have to think about it. So, Ian, what happens a lot of times is that artists, the reason why their shit, like when I was saying about this is with HBO, it's because it can get made. It's not, I didn't make it too crazy. You know what I mean? It's like space, but like so for example, on all of those are like things that are props that are already made. You know what I mean? Like all you have to do is do some color correcting. You can build any of that stuff or CGI any of that stuff. It's not overcomplicated. You know what I mean? It's doable. Like people don't realize, like when I do comics, I'm pitching on every level. So it's like, I have another deal. I can't really talk about too much of it, but it's like, with Monkey Paw, you know, and so that's Jordan Peele's thing, but that's a little far off, but it's getting closer. But but it's going to be the same approach when I do that. Strip it down, keep it simple, tell the story, you know?
Hell yeah. Look at that character.
Yeah, because that's design. That's supposed to be like campy. It's supposed to be 1950s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the early Star Trek when
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fight scene,
exactly. You
like you're
got it.
supposed to be scared by the monster
Yeah,
who's walking
totally.
super slow.
And that's why I chose Basil Wolvington, because he totally has that style. You know what I mean?
Love the pockmarks, like
Yeah.
craters.
Yeah, we used the we had my friend, he was drawing all those faces because they like he was like he's mastered how to draw their faces, so I just let him do it. And so we call him the sponge artist because all he drew was the sponge looking faces.
Were you guys like working remotely, or were you all
No,
like
it was
working in
during
the same room
COVID
together?
too, but we were in the same room.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
man. It was I was on a residency at
Oh, sick.
and it was at my mentor's house, Amina Robinson. I lived there, and so I just had the whole team come over and we just worked. I would work nonstop. They were coming in and working 3 hours a day. Well, isn't that fun?
Who was it? Somebody, I forget who was talking about it, but yeah, it's just hard when you're the leader of the project. It doesn't matter. There is no I'm tired.
Yeah,
I get to go to bed.
yeah,
You got to finish the
yeah,
goddamn.
yeah. That's like
And
the
everybody
way
else
to
goes
have.
home, and you're like, but
And
I'm
so,
not. I'm
so
not done.
here's the thing, Ian, is that the first, I didn't tell you this part. The first month was only doing lettering and layouts because they needed the lettering and layouts before I did any art. That's a lot. That's a thing people don't know about that you have to do with comics for companies because they don't have anyone to do that anymore. So you have to do where the lettering is going to go, and so basically they have to be able to make a thumbnail version of your book. And so once you have that done, you can print off all those pages and just lightbox. So I did all of that, in a month and a half, and so the other two months were just drawing and scanning and coloring.
So you finished it all small, including speech bubbles. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. All that was done before I drew anything. That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah,
the company needed it for to see how the book was going to look, which no one tells you. So something like this, I was really proud of too, because you're you're taking like a concept of the history of this whole planet, and so I think it worked well. It kind of has like a nice paper rad kind of feel to it too, where it's just these big bright colors, you know what I mean, like old school comic type shit. So I really like it.
Yeah, I see how it's a reference to that, but it also feels vibrant.
Yeah,
at the same time.
and like I said, it's very subtle, even though it's really really bright. Kept it simple.
Yeah, this story is another one where I love this. I love the style.
Thank you,
one.
man. Appreciate it, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that was the end. It's not the end. There's nothing that I don't like in here. It's just, it's like,
they're beautiful
I'll probably
compositions.
have a favorite. Yeah, I'll probably have a favorite after I read it. I'll be like, the story will influence which one I like too.
Yeah, and Johnny Sims, he actually colored this story. He's in our group too.
Oh, nice.
He's not too active, but he colored it, I think, when he was like 15, because I had him work on the book. So
wow, man, that's awesome. Yeah, you're an educator. You're working on multiple levels. You're helping people in all the different places wherever they're at in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because and it's gotten people like jobs and work and careers, like, and it boosted their confidence and self-esteem and made them better artists. So everyone wins, because the thing is like a lot of people they don't understand how difficult it is to become successful in art and book publishing and comics. And so I'm a lifer, meaning like this is I've been publishing since about 17. And so it's not hard for me to share those spaces. You know what I mean, Ian? Because it gets the projects done. Look at the impact we've made in our community that we're a part of. And we've only been active for a year now. So
Well, yeah, since you've been at it for a while, you're past the point of whatever you have to prove, it isn't like, let me do this all alone.
Yeah, like, so if I didn't, let's say if I wasn't published through like Abrams And so I have another book that's coming out like in a month. It will probably be like the biggest book on Abrams. I'm not credited, but I worked on it. And the I got paid. It's just that the project was already contracted and it fell behind. So with me working on that book as an example, and it being probably the biggest book in the African American community or the Black community, it's going to be really cool. And so there's a lot of value to that personally. So on every level, I'm grateful because sometimes I have to be the keyboard player. Sometimes I get to be the singer in a metaphorical sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man.
So I'm not ever complaining about anything that I get to do. So it's really fun, man. And so a lot of people would need it to be the auteur thing. And it's like, well, you can be an auteur later once you make the money, but you got to like really work with people.
Yeah, I feel like just project by project, if
yep.
like the Project Unicorn, that is.
Yep, that's this year's project I'm doing. And that's going to be huge, Ian, because when I realized the potential with the Project Unicorn is with it getting that funding in that short amount of time, I was like, okay, like that's only potential. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
because it's 3 volumes, 36 pages, and I post it on my Patreon twice a week. So I'm taking my time, I'm chilling. And when you look at other Kickstarters, they generate more money. Like, that's fine. That's not my concern. My concern is to show the community how you can take doing a 2-page a week project and turn it into $2,000 at this point. You know what I mean? Hopefully with it getting to be more. But the idea is to inspire people and to motivate them. Man, I love those guns. Those guns are so cool.
Yeah.
They're so like campy and like Liefeld-esque or generic.
It's fucking awesome, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Also, you're trying to create. I've heard you use the word sustainable. You want to create the equilibrium where you're just supporting yourself.
Yeah, and so like for me personally, I've been able to like support myself as an artist my entire life. I have worked at a career or a job, whatever you want to refer to it. I've worked in a museum for almost 20 years, so I have 20 years of museum studies. So I can tell you everything about art and art history and museums and archiving and curating and preparatory and shipping and all of that stuff, right? Marketing, advertising. So I know how to run a museum. Now, I worked to different capacities. Like I started out in security, worked in management, worked in the archives, worked on curatorial, like, whatever. So you kind of just like learn it all.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, once I retired from the museum, I was done there. I think I was finished because I started at 19. And so I was there, it ended up being like 15 years. So that ends up being about 34 or something like that. So, and then after that, I just was kind of a liaison. So what occurred during that time is like when I went full time as an artist, I blew up and got really successful. And that's when I kind of like was a painter. And then then I was kind of like retiring because I got married, bought my home, all that kind of shit. And then Eddie passed because I was just going to chill with the Kayfabe, chill with my bro Eddie, go travel the world. We were going to do that the rest of our lives.
Oh, man.
And then, the situation happened. So I got pulled back into the game. So now I'm here to take it over and have people like Ian go on this ride with me. This is so this
you're in a. It sounds like you're in a good place. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know anything about.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So I have like for example, I think it's 3 paintings in the Columbus Museum of Art, and then museums around the world. I probably have between private collections and museums. I'm probably up to around 1,000 pieces between collectors and
Wow,
museums.
man.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere
So,
near that. I sell paintings, but I'm not even close.
oh,
That's major.
yeah, yeah. So I have like some solid patrons who support me and buy my work, and it's all over. It's like in Spain, in Nice, a lot in Europe, a lot in America, obviously. Um, not much in Japan, but next time I'm going to Japan, I do have an art show set up. So,
Oh, sick, man.
mm-hmm.
Like right in
Yep,
Tokyo?
yep,
Amazing.
yeah. So that should be
Would you
cool.
say that your ability to connect with these patrons or these people who regularly buy from you was directly related to working at the museum, or was that like
So it is.
being social
So
in other ways?
yeah. So it's a you can see them if you have the eye. You can see them. So for example, if I'm in New York, I know where to go and what to do and who to talk to, as an example. Whereas most New Yorkers won't even know where to go or who to talk to. They think they'll go to a
Fuck,
museum.
come hang out. Come hang out with me in New York, Brian.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to some people. Yeah, I'll meet your people. You meet my people. It'll be a day.
Yeah.
So, Ian, the way it works is that a patron typically is very unassuming. This is my favorite comic. The favorite designs in this one. This shit goes hard. I love black and white, and so
And done.
yeah, this one. She gets busy in this book. This book's awesome. And so what happens, Ian, is that I did learn about patrons through the museum. So that's how I developed the network. And then once you broadcast yourself as an artist and you put yourself in certain positions as an artist, that's when the patrons come to you. So it's through kind of like a cosign. So, and it's not like Cloak and Daggers. It's just that they're private. Like they don't want people to come after them for their money. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so
Yeah.
they're just kind of eccentric people, and so those are the patrons you try to find. So as an example, one of my patrons, they own um, these places called Ko-Fi. It's like a think tank, as an example, right? And they sponsor me and they buy my work. Another patron is the Columbus City Council. So that's where people would be like, "Oh, Brian's like part of the Illuminati," but the city council buys a lot of artwork from me, and then
Oh,
these are different
wow.
city councils. So Columbus City Council, Dublin City Council, like these are all like neighborhoods or the equivalent to like a suburb or borough. And so you really kind of like once one person knows, they all know, and they kind of have a network. And so then that network can expand to a different city. But people, so when they think New York is it, I'm like, there's more art money in Nebraska because there's more patrons there, as an example. But no one knows about Nebraska because you think it's farms, you know? So you have some places that have better promotion, like New York City, versus the state of Nebraska. Um, and you can kind of think about it this way, Ian, like you probably know all the film people in New York City. You know what I mean? Like you would know how to connect and get looped back into that. It's the same thing. It's who you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's
I wouldn't say I know all the film people, but I'm definitely pretty tapped into the art game right now, which is cool.
Yeah, so
I
kind
used
of
to
think of it as
be more into the music scene, believe it or not. Well, not believe it, because I used to do music videos, right?
oh yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
now I'm proud to say like I've made good connections in the art world.
Yeah.
But not a lot of buyers. Like I've had a few buyers and they're not consistent. So.
Oh really? Yeah. So what you want to do, Ian, is connect your story to they buy it as an investment. So you have to sell yourself in that story. So it's like, oh
yeah.
I went to Pratt, I'm a prodigy, like I make these sales, this is what I do. Like you just have because you're approachable, you're clean, you don't stink, you look cool, you're good, you know. So it's like the problem most artists have is that what they're drug abusers. And I'm not saying that like a conservative, I'm saying it like, you know what I mean? It's like people have drug problems in the art world. They're fucking crazy. No one wants to deal with those people. It's hard to deal with those people. I'm one of those people. I'm crazy. And so you try to like be the best version of yourself so that you can have a career.
Yeah.
So it's just being a nice person at the end of the day. And so this book, this story, Nick, when I was designing this one, I didn't want to have any paneling. I wanted to just be floating compositions.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and with her smoking, you can see how it just kind of blends and flows, you know?
Yeah, it's just flowing, man.
So there is one page, Ian, that...
Yeah, the air just goes into all the other
Isn't that a
space.
great design scheme, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you turn the page, I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, right there on the right. So that page, I love that page, man. It's so fucking good. Like, I love everything about that composition, man.
We'll give it a second, but I'm loving this right here.
Yeah, yes. You know what I'm saying, bro? You feel me? Like,
yeah.
There's so many little things I did in this fucking story, and I'm just like, man, no one's ever going to see it. Yeah, that's so sick, man. Ain't nobody construct the world. Like, the sleeves to the fucking buildings. Like, come on, bro. That's Kofi right there. Like, that's just
awesome.
hard. There's another page also, Ian, similar to this one. If you turn, I'll show you that one that I'm really proud of, too. Oh, that's the end. So it's going to be further back then, actually.
I'll go back. This is great, though.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I love it.
Then you just get the fire.
Yeah, you're a master. You're a leader. You know how to lead people around.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Okay, keep going back. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
That's
nice, thank you. You like that?
That's real nice.
Yeah, that's really open. Yep, keep going. You're good. It's gonna be like a city. Yep, right there. Okay, so this page is funny. Okay, so originally this page I was so proud of. It was just the city, and then those three heads weren't back there. The editor came back and said, "Oh, we missed this. Can you insert the three heads?" And so I had to reduce the page size down and then insert those three heads up there for dialogue. And I'm like, so I'm just like, so it's like a digital input, you know, like I put it in there digitally because the book was done. This was like a last minute thing. And I was like,
oh wow.
But I don't mind it, but it's just kind of funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great page.
I
don't look at it.
Yeah, I'm so
anything
proud of that bottom, like the city and like that construction on everything. I love that fucking page. It's so cool because the idea is that it's like put together. The city's like an amalgamation of ideas. It's not supposed to be. It's like going on Google and typing in a city, you know, but you're taking a piece from every Google image and putting it together. That was kind of my approach. I just wanted to be a big amalgamation idea. So I do like that page a lot.
Dude, I don't have my Hellboy easily accessible. It's in hell, and like the way he put the buildings together, like he did drawings of buildings and he pasted them on top of each other, then he drew it again.
Wow.
And he just like layered, like, and then you look at the final product and it's like, what I'm talking about because you did it here, but it's like, you know, old looking buildings on crack.
Yeah. He's ready to play. The puppy's ready to play.
Yeah. Something happened. She woke up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's great. Yeah, that's actually where I'm at right now with Neon Spring. Like, I can't not have backgrounds. We were talking about, like, I literally don't have the ability to be full Katsuhiro Otomo, and I can't, even if I did, I can't be spending that time.
Yeah.
But I got to find some approach to making like some crazy futuristic shit in the background.
Yeah,
it's the character.
It's a weird balance because you have to get the book done, and since we're American cartoonists, the approach is different. And so when we do that, you know, because it's like eventually the backgrounds disappear. And so this story coming up, this one, I intentionally did it as a duotone, and the writers were kind of upset because they were really excited about this story because this is their favorite story, and it's about a janitor, like a custodian, and he's a janitor, and he is like a kung fu master, and then it tells his story. And so they're really into the 70s, you know, the kung fu, all that stuff. And so they really wanted this story to be like action and big. And then when I changed it to a duotone and told them, they were like, why? Why would you do? And I was like, trust me, it's better for the story, for
What did
the
they
overall book.
want? They
They
just
wanted
wanted
to
full
be
color?
full, like fucking John Woo. They wanted to, these guys are action, like, guys. They wanted to be on some Bruce Lee shit. I was like, and the funny thing is that this is the story people like the most out of the book. They always reference this story. This story, this book got me a job with what is that company? It's a bigger publisher than Abrams. It was with fuck, I can't remember. The book, the work didn't get published, but I got paid for it, so I was like, cool. But that came through because of this story. They were like, oh, we saw what you did here, we really like it.
You have an unpublished comic?
Unpublished art. I did artwork
Unpublished
for
art?
another. It was what company was that?
Penguin, Scholastic,
HarperCollins.
HarperCollins.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm. So with a lot of this kind of stuff, like, you would be shocked, contract wise, how much art you do for a company and it doesn't get published or work. You know what I mean? It's like, and so, like, I was like recently, the people who wrote this David Bowie book, it's a big book. They inquired some art from me because they had me do it. I can't remember if they paid me or not. And so then I'm slated or asked to draw a Richard Pryor graphic novel, but I haven't heard anything. But I could hear something like 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So they just take time with all this stuff. So a lot of stuff
Richard
is
Pryor bio. That would be amazing.
Yeah. So they made the David Bowie graphic novel. It's the same people that did that one. They would do the same thing, but for Richard Pryor. So his wife, his widowed wife, likes me and she approves my art. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I love this. Like, this page right here is so beautiful. It's so poetic. I would love to see a movie like this. It's such a beautiful comic. Because a lot of people, Ian, when they think about comics, they want it to be always one thing, man. Like, you have to really think differently because comics have such a long history that you can really do any forms. So, like, with me kind of going old school with this stuff, giving it this classic feel, but you really can connect to it. Like that panel on the right of the city or the buses, like all of that, if you can feel that stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a nice angle too.
Thank you. Super simple, just like shapes, things we all understand. But it's not whack. You know how like a lot of shit will like be like a limp noodle. It's like, no, make the art strong. You know what I mean? Like, be direct with it. Just like make it interesting.
That can be tricky, man, because it's like you have to be inspired. It does have to be exciting and interesting, no matter what.
Yeah.
Approach matters. Reasoning matters, but if you're not feeling it, other people will feel that you're not feeling it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so this book, this story, I'm super proud of. And so looking back at this book, and like, man, this is I can like look at it from more of a neutral perspective. And this is just, I love this. This is just remarkable. Yeah.
You can read these all out of order too, right?
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can open the book and read from any direction. Because it's the stories, because the way I broke the stories down is that the interstitials are the blue campfire scenes. So
okay. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, right.
So then anytime you get there, it's a new person telling a story. So you just open it up and read it like a comic book also. You know what I mean?
Nice. Is that campfire you're talking about? The Kayfam. Coming
exactly. Yep. That's why I said this book has a lot actually to do with my life, which is really wild because, Alan Moore and Grant Morrison talks about how comics impact their life and transform. And this is the same thing. Like the Eightfold Path is literally like my comics career and my art career was already done. I was in retirement and just teaching and just painting in the fucking nature preserve. And then travesty hit. You know, like those cliche stories, Ian, of like the drunk knight who has to come out of retirement to save his village one more time, and the villain is 10 times worse than Sauron. It's like, so it feels like that, but I was already like trained, you know what I mean? And it's not that I feel that way. It's just the way I process losing, you know, in my life being turned into a 180, you know? So this book is very, I'm enjoying going through this with you. I'm learning a lot. So yeah, like that's great right there. Like those panels are brilliant. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. So much in that.
So emotional, man. It's simple, but there's so much coming off of it, man.
And those are really strong characters. Like the models are great. Like it feels weighted. Like him sitting there on that bed feels very accurate. You know? Yeah, people, it's hard time. If you're not a cartoonist, it's hard to appreciate those kind of panels, right? And like, you understand why that's important and why that's incredible. Like, I put the fucking shadow in on the cane on the bed, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking pointed out. Yeah, I put all the fucking, but no one would recognize that except for you, because you're an art nerd like me. You know what I'm saying?
Shadow work goes a long way, man. Whether you're just doing blacks or you're coloring it. Yeah, it's like...
And you can see with this duotone, I got some warm grays, some cool grays, some really dark grays, you know?
Yeah.
We work so well. I love, this is the best draw. This is where we were drawing. We're on fire. This is where we were kicking ass. Yeah, I love this. Like,
did you do the book in order? Like draw it in order?
No, no. I did the stories pretty much in order because I needed them to be colored at this, meaning like I wasn't drawing like this story, then going back and drawing like the last word. Like I was drawing them in sets so that I can scan it, color it all at the same time, and hand it over to the publisher. So they just got it in chapters and in sections. Isn't that great, Ian, right there? That top view?
Yeah.
So simple. The fucking orange light.
I mean, you got a what they call a cinematic thing going on.
Yeah.
You're definitely a storyteller. You're thinking about how to tell the story, not just making pictures for the sake of drawing pictures.
Yeah. It has like a this could work in film. It would have like a Sin City quality to it, you know, with like the color, but they would have to soften that orange. That orange no one can't stare at a film for an hour and a half, just an orange. You know what I mean? You gotta soften that a little bit.
I don't know.
Ian's like, I've seen it done.
I don't know if I've seen it done, but I feel like you could just do it like this. I mean, after Sin City was like, when people say you can't do things or you shouldn't do things, and then I'm reminded of like what Sin City was and how when that came out, it was like, wait a minute, you could literally just make that comic a movie,
bro. So, and he did like
you know what? Actually, anything could be a movie then.
Like, those are facts, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I could tell this is probably really impactful story in here.
Yeah, it's so good because that's kind of like the one. It's like black male, so it's like relatable. It's like something I can be proud of, you know. Like there's a lot of feeling in that, like a black urban community, you know, poverty. He's like a janitor.
Got you.
Really cool. So this here is the last
story that takes us out.
What's that, Ian?
This is the story that takes us out.
Yeah, the savior is it, man. And that story I can't really talk about because the reveal in it, but this story breaks down the whole everything. Isn't that crazy right there?
Terminator's going on?
Yeah. They reference all kinds of shit. This is Charles and what's his name doing this? Like they're fucking going crazy on the writing, man. And so it's actually designed, Ian. I designed this to be. Do you know how CRT televisions work? Like the the idea of the image, like it's put through RGB, like you understand that and all that?
I probably don't actually. Maybe I do.
Okay, so like the projection of a screen is through a cathode ray tube is through RGB, which is red, blue, green. And so
Right.
when you see the picture go out, it's one of those colors, typically, you know, the capacitor for it or whatever goes out. And then it creates these weird images, like weird color distortions, like non-local colors. And so that's why I was going for here, was that as if like a CRT was losing its color. And so you get like these random parts where like purple is just popping in, like purple circles and shit. All of that is designed that way. So
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never would have been able to describe it like that.
yeah. So yeah, if you get
Amazing.
and so if you can get to this,
Wow.
and it's fine because it doesn't reveal anything. You have to read it, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of this at this point, Ian, because this was the last story that was drawn, so you're getting a lot of that noodle line. It's a lot of burnout, but I still think it's beautiful. I think it's incredible.
Oh, you're talking about like
The actual drawing.
Toddfather noodle line?
What's that, Ian? Sorry.
Talking about Toddfather and noodling around, that type of noodly line? Yeah.
And so that's the last page right there. I remember drawing that page.
That's great, man.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
wanted
is
to
a
make
beautiful
sure.
book.
What's that?
This is a beautiful book.
Man, thank you so much, Ian. I'm glad we went through this,
And
bro.
and what's this? Is this just explaining mandala?
Yeah, it's
or
explaining
symbology?
Buddhism and the Eightfold Path. So it
Yeah.
tells you the entire philosophy. So this book you can get on Amazon right now. It's like for the hardcovers, I think $11 or $12. So go ahead and snatch it up, everybody, and give it a read.
That'll be a steal.
Yeah,
$25 on the
yeah.
book jacket.
And I charged $25 for it. So because for my stack, I mean they already they sent me a stack for of the paperbacks. So yeah, I'm sitting on some of that stuff. But yeah, man.
I don't want to put this back on.
What's that?
I don't want to put this back
Yeah,
on.
no. I don't keep my the first copy that was printed, I got the sleeve on that. But any copy on my shelf, I take that sleeve off because the side of the hardcover, the blue and orange, yeah, is much cooler. Like that just reads way better on the shelf. So, but I complain about the original cover, but Ian, you already clocked it, man. You're like, yeah, it's this inside, and that's the point.
I'm a book lover, man, and I don't hate this, but I love this a lot more.
Totally.
Yeah.
Man, well, thank you for having me on here, bro.
Dude, you got it, man. Yeah, but my battery is about to die. I was gonna say let me throw out some. I don't know who's still in the feed, but
fine.
I'll just quickly throw down the comics I got out.
Let's see them. Yeah, so this right here, this is one of the Kayfam. This is Ryan. He did this belated Kayfabe Tober book. It's such a great example, Ian, of like design and art. Like the dude could just draw.
What do we say? Yeah.
He can
draw, man. He can draw. I wonder if he's still in here. He popped in earlier.
Yeah. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, the drawing is incredible, man.
Dude, the guy can just...
He's a good cartoonist.
And
he's a great cartoonist.
He's such a sweetheart, man. The guy's so nice.
He captured all your likenesses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He nails us, man. And Ian, you're the only other one.
Love it.
You and Ryan are the only people I saw who drew Eddie and Jimmy. Because, I know these people. Like, I've known these people. I know the nuances. And you and Ryan are the only two people I know to nail Eddie and Jimmy, like, spot on. It's nuts.
Ryan hopped in. He said I can draw. I mean, thank you for the compliment, but, like, I admire what Ryan did because he cartooned them. Like I just copied a photograph basically.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you did it.
He really. Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, you're right. I did the thing in Cartoonist Kayfabe illustrator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, man, he's awesome though, man.
When you saw Jimmy, did you give him that print, Ian, or how'd that work out?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because he posted it. That shit was hard as fuck, dude.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, he traded me for the alien disclosures.
Oh, nice.
which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would have bought it anyway, but yeah.
Well, the thing
nice
is,
trade.
Jimmy messaged me about your drawing. And this was unsolicited. I didn't say like, "Oh, Jimmy, what do you think of this?" He was like,
"Look at our book, Jimmy."
Yeah, that never happens. Jimmy knows what's going on. And it's like, and Jimmy was like, "Dude, the fucking Robert Crumb." I was like, "That's my dude, Ian, man."
I'm glad you pushed me to do that too. I was like, I wanted to do a different one.
Yeah, man. I saw the vision, man. I was like, you're one of the few people who I know could pull it off, because when you draw Eddie, because Eddie uses the Robert Crumb detail line, and I was like, okay, so I know it can be emulated. I was like, Ian's a illustrated, like, you're a master illustrator, so I was like, I think he can do it. And so this book is the that's it right there, man. So this is Cartoonist Kayfabe Illustrated, and this is a book where we donate to Eddie P's family in order to create sustainability for his trust. And so Ian delivered like a motherfucker in this book, man. Ian, was this your first Kayfam book, or did you do one before this?
Oh no, Hellboy was technically, we did that first.
And that's still Kayfam extension, so that's still Kayfam. So, but
is it not? I mean, I thought
it was done. It's done technically by Devin, and he did that project outside of the organization, but he used the people from our community. But then he donated the book to Kayfam, so he just made it and then donated it. So we appreciate it.
So I see what you're saying. So the Kayfam books are specifically the ones where we do it in the weekend. Is that what you're referring to?
And we give those are a donation for Eddie. So meaning like the literal Kayfabe book, this one. Now the Kayfam ones, the other ones, like let's say the Turtles, those books we create for the community to sell, for donations, that people can have sustainability while they develop their talent and their skills and their projects. Ooh, look at that stack.
That would be these, right?
Yes,
these
sir. Like Otaku no Gaijin Volume 1 and 2. We're starting the third one coming up. Man, Ian, how do you feel about those books when you got them in your hand? Aren't those some fucking serious books, man?
Yeah, they're fucking serious. But they're also, I love it, man. I'm really like so happy to be a part of all this, that I'm actually seeing the
Yeah, you're going to put in some work.
Yeah, this is nuts. But this is a similar idea. Everybody gets a page. Mm-hmm. There's very simple rules to follow. Basically, you get to do what you want, and you got to do it in the weekend, Friday to Sunday night.
Yep. And by doing that, so what happens is that it teaches artists to be professional, and it gives them training. They learn about printing, because now, Ian, you were breaking down the printing on the Eightfold Path, like, because you know the game now, because you publish, well, you've been publishing, but you get my point.
Yeah.
And so to have these books, it's the training ground for cartoonist development. And Ian, imagine if we had this back when we were kids, bro. Somebody like some OGs to take us under our belt and put us on game.
Yeah. I know this is an amazing group, man. It's so lucky to.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I know everybody's super grateful.
Oh yeah, I'm grateful to have people who see the vision, because most people can't see the vision, as you know, because they have no hustle gene. And in comics, you have to get out there. That's why. Yeah. I think that's why the comics industry is failing, is because the hustle's gone. Because Stan and those guys at DC, they all had the creative hustle. It's creativity meets drive, and you put those together, and you get like some crazy cosmic creativity. Yeah, man. How do you feel?
This is just a super beautiful book, though, man. It's like,
you
were asking how I felt.
Yeah, about the review. Did you see that review, bro?
Oh yeah, you mean the guy who did one recently? Yeah. I want to do one myself. I feel like hopefully more people will do them, because it's like, I know they will.
Yeah.
This book is such a and there's going to be more, right? This is volume 1.
The next one comes out around Eddie's birthday, so
it's just such a beautiful idea, man.
Yeah, man. And it's like
flat on the back,
and it's like it's gonna sell, like it can sell anytime, anywhere. Like, who wouldn't want, like, and it's like it fits as a comic, but it's like a little better than a comic. You know what I mean? It's like a part of history, so it's like you're getting everything you want out of a comic and you're part of it too. And that's
Yeah.
the key about the Kayfam books, is that I want them, they operate as ephemera, but it's not ephemera. It's ephemera with a soul to it. So it's designed
Yeah.
to, like, that you want to keep it. So example, Ian, if you were just a comic book buyer and you saw those books and you bought them, would you want to keep those in your collection, or would you just sell them after you read them?
I don't sell comics, dude. I save every comic I get, whether I like it or not. But that's the cop-out answer. I would definitely, I mean, I need to get extra copies of this just because I intend to like take it around and
Yeah,
show it to
yeah,
people.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna get fucked up, and I want to have one.
But see, that's the
That's
thing. Like that thought right there, Ian. Like that's exactly what I'm talking about. We like you're so, you like it so much. You're like, man, because that's like something like we would say as kids, like, oh, I need two
Yeah.
copies in case one gets lost or stolen or messed up. Like you're like,
Oh man,
it's worth
dude, I
it.
worked at my hometown comic shop, and so I got to see behind the scenes, like the pull bin, the
Yeah, yeah.
pull lists. Like I work, every Wednesday we would pull everybody's
Mm-hmm.
list, and like it was nuts because I was there in '99, but I was there my whole life. So I was there during the speculator boom
Oh
and all that, and like
wow.
it was nuts, man. It was like people were getting 2 or 3 copies of things, and some of them I'm sure loved it and read it, but a lot of these dudes, I don't even think they read anything, and
No,
like
they're all addicted. They're all
yeah,
addicted
it
to
was crazy. It
comics.
was so weird.
Yeah, because
And I
think
think I
about it.
told you I was buying as much as some of like the top buyers were buying. Like I was only buying single. I wasn't buying 2
Yeah,
copies, but I
but
was
you were
buying
buying all
everything.
the books.
But I was reading everything too, man. Like I
Yeah,
was actually reading
that's the
everything.
difference, man. I like the vibe of comics, and I like reading them. And I like comic books specifically. Like, and I know there's the discrepancy between graphic novel and stuff. I like the fact that it can lay flat. That's like a floppy. Yeah, look at you go.
Yeah,
Yep, that's all K-Fam, K-Fam, K-Fam. Hell yeah.
dude, I'm at 2%, so you can keep talking, but I'm just gonna drop Kfam in here.
Mm-hmm.
We can shout
All
him out.
right. So
This is
yeah, so that's
Vero.
Vero Stewart. You can find Vero. She's the first lady. Well, she's the first worker of KFAM / lady of after Eddie's mom, Justine. We got Gabby and we got Vero. So shout outs to Vero Stewart. You can find her at
She's an OG.
she's OG. So the reason we have power to the panel is because of Vero. That's Vero's design aesthetic and everything. So Vero's the one who got us off the ground.
Nice.
So that's family right there. Vero can do no wrong. You guys could be like, she ran over a cat. I'm like, the cat deserved it.
Dude, if we do get cut off, I'm just gonna post it.
Yeah, it's all
we'll
good, man. We'll rock out.
follow up.
Yeah, it's all good.
But let's try to get through. Like I'll try to throw the key members down.
Yeah, man.
Right
Jeremy Heiler right
obviously.
there. So that's
Jeremy's gonna come on. We're gonna go through this.
Okay, hell yeah, you have to. He had a speed run too. Him and Marco speed ran last year, man. How's that for some fucking motivation?
I have the single issues of this, but this is like, except for the last season.
That collection's crazy,
yeah,
right there, though.
This is incredible, man.
Yeah,
he's a lot. And I had no idea when he came on and was talking with you the other night. I don't know anybody's relationship. That was like a really beautiful episode where you guys were, where I really learned how like he was there with you from before any of this shit even went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys were doing stuff. Like I just had no idea.
He was one of the.
I just don't know who's involved and how they're involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all
awesome to learn about everybody.
No, respect. And the thing is with that, Ian, is like I always take the time out to just reintroduce everything like it's the first time, because there's always a new person here. And this thing is weird because it's never been done before, because it's kind of operates as a co-op. It operates as a company. It operates as a therapy session, a creative zone. Like it has so many functions. So it is confusing. But yeah, that's Jeremy Heiler right there. So I told Jeremy Heiler to draw a comic, and ever since then he ain't stopped. So, and then he's also
he's
the other half of Kayfabe. I mean, of cartoon. I mean, of whatchamacallit. There's Vero again.
Yeah, I'm just realizing I'm not going to pull out all the individual issues because he's going to come on. We're going to go through the Splinter book and everything.
Yeah.
This is Alfred. I want to shoot at Alfred.
Fuck yeah, dude. My boy Alfred with the fucking Renegade comic. That shit is hard as fuck.
Does Defective Comics too.
Yeah, he does Defective Comics also. I love Al, man. He was in the chat yesterday. Shout outs to Al. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a good person to have in comics, man. That's a good dude.
Yeah, just a good person, man.
Yeah, we need all the good people we can get.
Look,
So
I don't want to run out of. I don't want to get cut off. I want to keep going, but
yeah, you're good. Yeah, keep going.
this is
That's beautiful. That's my
Vlad gave me
Vlad.
this. This is just the backing board that he drew on. Gave me a nice little
That's crazy. That's
backing
so
board.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Man.
And then I picked up two of their books, Comics is a Sickness and The Little
Nice.
Things.
Yep. And so those two books are my co-host Gabby and then Vlad, he's part of the group too. They published these books in their getting their magazines up. So that's on the website, I think, which is sootandsprinkles.com, I think it is. So yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
And Soot and Sprinkles, I didn't realize. Now I got to pick up all that too. That's like,
and that's why I told him, I said, you guys got to print those physicals, man.
Yeah. I'm doing. There's still a lot, but I'm just gonna do Deanna right now, just in case we get.
So yeah, so that's Dee Dee. So that's my co-host Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Man, her books are great. So
yeah, I love the trees.
Yeah,
I fucking love the trees.
So we're trying to get her set up with a publisher and trying to really push that book. So she's co-hosting our podcast, and we do interviews. She did it. She brought on Lee. She's doing a residency right now. So shout outs to Dee Dee. Isn't it funny that like all these people are probably like, wait, what is this going on? They're probably like going to go back and listen to this and like try to figure out where the hell is all this coming from, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could follow Deanna and check out her work.
Yeah,
the trees is going to be her goal is maybe I shouldn't say anything, but she's someday gonna have a nice thick book of the trees. Which is great too, man.
Yeah, she's grinding.
And I'm throwing two down simultaneously now. I got Frank's first book somewhere, but here's Void number 2. And I know you guys did a flip through of it, right?
Yeah. So the Void is by Frank Fallon. He's in Manhattan. And then we have Cat and Geist. That's by Tyler. That's in the cover is by Nick Clark. So shout outs to all three of them. These are also Kayfam books. All the books you're seeing are Kayfam books, even though some of them are published independently, though, but they're still in the tribe, so they're Kayfam. So Void 2 was made during Kayfam. Cat and Geist sold hella copies. Now, you want to talk about Tyler hustled. That dude was hustling hundreds of comics. Boy was hustling. So
yeah,
shout outs to Tyler, man.
When I met him, he was out. Like I asked for a copy, he's like, I sold out.
Dude, it's true, bro. Bro, be reordering. Like people really love his comic, and he has it at Quimby's. Come on, stop playing with me.
Nice, man.
Hell yeah,
dude. I'm at 1% now, so I'm just gonna flip around and say goodnight.
Yeah.
Man,
this has been awesome, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy.
Man, it's
man. Thank you.
Honor and a pleasure. Now, what do you think? Do you think I'm gonna go on after this, Ian, or do you think I'm gonna go to bed?
I think you're gonna, like we said, you're gonna be talking to yourself and you're gonna make some art, right?
I'll probably end up streaming. I'll probably fucking come on.
I can never go right to bed after doing.
Yeah, because you get wired.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's time to draw.
Yeah, this was great. I'm super grateful that you were willing to come on and talk to me.
Man, thank you.
You're always welcome to do this with me again. I mean, once I get physical copies of the Unicorn, I would love to do this again. Man.
Thank you, bro, for sure. Bless you, bro. Thank you for everything.
There's so much to talk about, man. And appreciate and you're a teacher.
There's so much.
I like how you come from this we're teaching perspective.
Yeah, man. Awesome. It's important, man. Because it kills all ego. Because if we're here to learn, then what's the issue, right? It's like, what, you don't like learning? Like, you gonna look crazy if you get over here fighting. All right, Ian. Well, thank you for everything.
Dude, the only reason I'm saying goodbye right now is because, I don't know what happens if something dies in the middle of the live. I don't know.
Save it. We gotta save it.
Yeah, let's save it.
All right, take it easy.
Yes,
bro.
Thank you so much. We're gonna talk more, man. I'll see you on your stream.
Sounds good, brother. Take it easy.
Peace, Moss.
Peace.
Thank you.
Yep.